FM Floresville, your home for the Blitz with Jason and Joe on YouTube and always at sasportstar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs back in action tonight there in Phoenix, taking on the reeling Suns, losers of 8 in a row. Tip-off from Phoenix is set for 9 o'clock. Houston Texans locked up one of their own today, signing safety Jalen Petrie to a 3-year extension worth $39 million, 30 of which is guaranteed. And the Cleveland Browns, they got a quarterback. Joe Flacco is back.
SportsCenter brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Happy Friday, everybody. We have made it. The weekend is in sight. Very happy about that. Beautiful day in San Antonio and a lot of excitement here around the radio station. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, he's up there in Oklahoma somewhere. I don't know what he's doing. Cross-Canadian ragweed or something like that. He's attending another concert. Does that surprise anybody? Because that's what Minix does. But he is up in Oklahoma doing that. He'll be back with us on Monday when we have our golf tournament. But I mentioned it's a very exciting day here at the San Antonio Sports Star, KTSA, all the radio stations here, Alpha Media. We've got a puppy food bank drive, a radiothon, if you will. We're raising money for the puppy food bank, and you can help us out. We're going to be talking about this all day. You go to sasportstar.com. You can make a donation there, whatever you can, whether it's $1 or $5, $10, $1 million, whatever you can do. You can go to sasportstar.com and do that. And I'm very excited today. And if you watch the morning show, you got to see this guy. His name is John O'Hurley. And the guy is a bona fide celebrity, a bona fide star. This guy has done just about everything. And I tell you what, he's got the best voice I've ever heard. So he is kind of the spokesperson for all of this, and he is here all day today. He was on with the morning show this morning with AJ and Rob. He's going to be on with us several times throughout the program today, and I can't wait. I can't wait to talk to John O'Hurley. He'll join us here at about 15 minutes or so. We'll get our first visit with John O'Hurley. Looking forward to that. Now, AD on our YouTube channel has already noticed something very nice sitting on the desk. It is a nice golf bag, courtesy of Beer Santa. That's right. Our friends at Flight by Yingling have dropped off this golf bag, and the reason they did that is because, well, we're going to be giving that dude away on Monday. If you're in the golf tournament, you have an opportunity to win that thing. You win a putting contest. That's the way it is. That putting contest gets ready to go at 8 o'clock out at the Golf Club of Texas. So you'll have a chance to putt for that golf bag right there. It is absolutely beautiful, and boy, if I could find a way to tuck it in my shirt and run out of the station, I would do it. It's awesome. But what do you expect from Beer Santa? Now, not only at the golf tournament, if you're not in the golf tournament, you can still win a bag like that. All you have to do is come out to our after party at the Hangar Bar there off Petrenko Road, and we'll have another one of these to give away. Not only that, we're going to have some Kanga coolers, some golf towels, some Yingling golf shirts, T-shirts, caps, all of that kind of stuff. It's just going to be a great day. It's this Monday, April 14th, out at the Golf Club of Texas. And then, of course, the after party, which the Blitz will be broadcasting from 2 to 6 at the Hangar Bar right there off Petrenko Road. So come on out and see us. It's just going to be fantastic. Now, if you're playing in the golf tournament, you will get to see Beer Santa in his sleigh, riding around the golf course, handing out beer and swag, and challenging you to shots. And I'm talking about golf shots. Maybe a couple of beer shots. Who knows? But when it comes to Beer Santa, you just never know. So looking forward to that. But again, if you're not in the golf tournament, come on out and see us at the after party at the Hangar Bar there off Petrenko Road. But I put this golf bag up there to make all of you jealous. And AD, well, you bit, fella. Yeah, you bit, but that's okay. That's a pretty golf bag. I'm going to tell you that. I don't know what else to say about that thing, but it is gorgeous. So we'll be talking more about that as we go on through the show today. Lots to talk about on this Friday, and so happy that you guys are taking some time to join us today. And again, if you feel like you can, we would appreciate a donation for the Puppy Food Bank, keeping the pups fed. You go to sasportstar.com and you can donate there. It's just an exciting day. It really is. The fact that Minix is not here is, that's just a plus. I get to rant and rave and say whatever I want. No challenges, no nothing. Unless, of course, you guys want to challenge me, whether you're watching on YouTube or driving around this beautiful city or wherever you're listening and however you're doing that. We certainly do appreciate that. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. That's the number to call in and make your voice heard. You can also reach out to me on Twitter or X or whatever the heck it's called, at Joe Reinigle 210. It's going to be a fantastic day, but I got to tell you guys about something. Obviously, I'm a golf geek. You all know that. I've been watching the Masters all day. Justin Rose is still in the lead. He is at -8. He's done for the day. But did you see the dude yesterday named Nick Dunlop? Nick Dunlop was just like you, me, Minix, whoever you want that you play golf with on a Saturday or Sunday. The dude shot 90. He shot 90. Now, I would still think that'd be pretty good at Augusta National because that golf course is just brutally hard, obviously. But the dude shot 90. He's a pro, and he shot 90. And apparently it was his first time at the Masters, his first trip there. So obviously he's playing a little bit better today, but he's not going to make the cut. But the dude shot 90. Can you imagine walking into the locker room with all those PGA stars, all of them there, and you said, hey, how'd you play today? And you go, I shot 90. The laughter could be unbelievable. 90. That's just incredible for a professional golfer to shoot 90. But you know what? It can happen to anybody because golf is the most unforgiving sport on the planet. There's no doubt about that. So we'll keep you updated on what's going on in the Masters, and all the afternoon guys now have taken off and are playing. So we'll keep you updated on that as we go throughout the day. I saw something really strange today, and I've seen it the last couple of times, and I've been meaning to tell you guys about it. But as I come to work and I come up Austin Highway, there's a dude there with a sign, and it says, if you're over 21, in quotation marks, it says free weed. Free weed. Now, I've been tempted to pull over and ask this guy, what the heck, what's the catch? I mean, there's got to be something, right? Is he talking about the weed that makes you high, or is he talking about weeds that are in your yard? I don't know what he's talking about, but he's carrying this sign. And you've seen those dudes with the signs, they twirl them around and all that. This guy doesn't do that, and he doesn't have to. But he's out there with a sign that says free weed. I got to stop and ask that dude what he means by that. And there's got to be a catch, right? Now, I think there's a CBD store or something there that, I don't know, that he's probably holding that sign for. But free weed? I got to ask him. But I'll be honest with you, I've been a little chicken to do it, to pull over and stop. And now that I'm sitting here talking about it, of course, I would never do that, boss. The boss is in there with Edwin in the glass box of fun. I would never pull over for a guy with a sign that says free weed. I would never do that. Never. But I thought that was weird, right? Just kind of unbelievable that there's a dude walking down Austin Highway with a sign that says free weed. It's unbelievable. Perfectly honest, you just never know what you're going to see on Austin Highway. Anyway, you drive down there, it's really it's spectacular sometimes, and well, that's the way it is. Free weed. So if you're near Austin Highway, drive down there and see if you can stop and ask the dude what he's talking about with the free weed. I can't imagine that he's going to hand you a joint or something. I mean, he's not going to do that. But I want to know what he does. So if you do that, if you happen to be in the area and you're driving down Austin Highway, stop and ask that dude what he means. Because I have to know now. I have to know. I don't know. Somebody do that work for me, will you? Please, because I got to know. Now, I'm looking at our YouTube page and appreciate all you guys there. And please subscribe to our SA Sports Star YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up there as well. But I guess everybody kind of notices that Edwin is here, not Pledge. So happy to see Edwin. I don't ever get to see Edwin anymore because he's the morning show guy. He helps out the Morning Huddle fellas of AJ and Rob. But Edwin and I are working together today. Pledge is off. He's taking the day off for his birthday. So he's taking a long weekend. Minix is off, another concert. And so Edwin and I are we're going to lose control. We're just going to go nuts. We're going to go crazy, right, Edwin?
I think you are.
Are you ready to go nuts?
Not really.
Let's do this. All right, we're going to donate to some puppies, though, when we come back. Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. We're having it station-wide. I mean, all the stations here at Alpha Media are doing this. John O'Hurley, big-time celebrity, big star. He's here. We're going to visit with him coming up next. And we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
This weekend, only at Macy's, it's our lowest prices of spring. How low? Diamond rings, pendants, and earrings, only $399, originally $1,500. Ninja blenders, now $89.99. And $395 men's designer suits, only $99.99. So if you're wondering why you should shop Macy's lowest prices sale, well, the name pretty much says it all. It's our lowest prices for one weekend only. Going on now at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane, manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Does this sound like your marriage? Wake up and realize that there's a better life waiting. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. At Barton & Associates, we specialize in navigating the complexities of divorce law, protecting your best interests, and ensuring you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but here's the thing. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control of the process and secure your future. If you're serious about protecting yourself and securing your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team you need. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. If you're tired of this, then start your better life today with Barton & Associates. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, happy Friday, everybody. It is a great day to be in the radio business. I'm going to tell you that right now. We are doing something I think is pretty cool, a radiothon for the Puppy Food Bank. And I'm very excited about that. You can go to sasportstar.com and donate there if you would, because we sure appreciate your help. And you'd be helping out some puppies and doing some good things for a lot of good folks. And I tell you what, I'm kind of in awe here because I have a giant celebrity sitting across from me here in the Sports Star studios, John O'Hurley. Mr. O'Hurley, thank you for being here.
It's a joy to be here with you. It's we're trying to do something great for the puppies and all of the dogs that have yet to be found their forever homes because they end up in the shelters. And the bottom line, the red line in every budget of every shelter in America, and there's 15,000 of them, the red line is how do we feed them? So the whole premise of the puppyfoodbank.org is to provide the food for them for free so that they can worry about the other things, the medical care, the training, all the things that they need to do to go ahead and get these these puppies into their forever homes. But the food should never be an issue. These are our shelters, and I want to try to change the philosophy of what people think. There's a tendency to want to look at dogs that are in shelters. You look over your shoulder and say, oh well, they're in shelters. That's fine, whatever. And they're ours. They're part of our community, and we need to assume the responsibility for these dogs to make sure that they're healthy, that they're in no-kill shelters, and that they find their forever homes.
Well, I tell you what, it is a great thing. And I don't think people think about providing food and what it costs and then the medical care and that cost.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's nice when people of the community can come together, go to sasportstar.com, make a donation, whatever you can do.
Well, we make it very, very simple.
Yeah.
We do a $15 a month donation. You attach it to a credit card, a debit card, whatever. You never see it. You never think about it. It's just there. And it provides a security blanket for the shelters that they know that they're always going to have money there at the end of the month to feed the dogs.
Well, I mean, $15 a month, and you're not going to miss that.
Well, that's 2 beers between you and me.
That's exactly right, and we'd probably spend a little more than $15 if you're honest.
No. I'm a Cabernet guy. So
I got you. I understand.
I should be spending a lot more.
Well, it's awesome, and I know we've been doing this all day. You've been talking with our friends at KTSA, and I know you were in here with the morning show, the morning huddle this morning with Rob and AJ. So you're pulling an all-day deal here get the word out.
I'm here from 4 this morning till 7 o'clock tonight.
Wow.
We're going to do it, and we're going to do well.
Yeah, we're going to do well, and we're going to raise a lot of money. So I've got to tell you, though, as we talk about this, you have got the greatest voice I think I've ever heard in my life. Now, did you always know you had a great voice, or did somebody tell you that?
The ironic element of that is mine was the last voice to change in high school. Don't you remember there was one kid in your high school that always talking like this right up to the end? Well, that
was
me.
You, huh?
But back then, and I don't know whether you're old enough to remember it. Don't you hate people saying that to you? But
I'm probably old enough.
Back in the late 60s, on AM radio, the DJs, they controlled the music industry. It wasn't the labels, it wasn't the groups, it wasn't the producers, it was the DJs that controlled. If that DJ didn't like you, your music was never going to see the light of day. So you'd have groups like Steppenwolf coming into a studio like this, with the attempt of just making good with the DJ so that he would go ahead and play their hit. And they would march up and down the East Coast and over into L.A. as well, but they would be pushing the DJs. So I say this only because my voice was changing at the same time that the DJs were doing all of this. And the DJs back in the 60s had these incredible voices that everybody sounded like this. It's like you act today and you can have every album ever recorded sitting on your lawn by tomorrow afternoon. And so I guess when my voice changed, I realized that the voice is an instrument. And if you sustain the tone, you're singing. And if you truncate the tone, you are speaking. And so I, from there, went to, I majored in theater, but I majored in voice and opera. So I learned how to use my voice. So the nice part about it was it's an instrument that I can use now, and it's proved me well.
Well, it certainly has. I mean, you've done everything. As we visit with John O'Hurley, we're doing a Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Again, go to sasportstar.com, and you can help us out with a donation there. You've had a wonderful career, and you've done eclectic. So many things, right?
It's been eclectic.
Yeah.
It really has. I've done a lot of different things. But I pass this on to anybody who's listening to this. The reason that I've had if I've been a success at all, if I've had an eclectic career at all, it's because I listen to my imagination. I don't listen to my rational mind. My rational mind will it lies to me. The darn thing lies. Its job is to keep me standing upright and healthy and alive, but that's it. It's not there to make my life an improvement. It's not there for me to move towards my dreams. That's the job of my imagination. And I always have listened to my imagination, and it's never proven me wrong. And whatever my imagination tells me, I have to do. Even Dancing with the Stars, Family Feud, writing books, composing music, certain shows that I've done, it's always my imagination.
Now, you've done a little bit of everything, but let's talk about Dancing with the Stars, because we talk a lot about winning and losing.
That was God's little practical joke.
I mean, you were in the Super Bowl of Dancing with the Stars.
I won the first year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how was that? That had to be amazing. It was the first ever Dancing with the Stars, right?
It was 9 parts cocktail. It was 9 parts boot camp and 1 part cocktail party. It was I dropped 25 pounds. And it was one of the most difficult athletic things I've ever done. And it's interesting, if you happen to be near your computer right now, Google up the world champion ballroom dancing competitions, and you will see athletes like you have never seen before in your life. The women's bodies are like to die for, and the men are trimmed within an inch of their life, but they don't miss a beat. And when I finished, I was hyperventilating. I mean, it's that kind of movement that you have to kind of put your arms around, or it's not going to happen.
Well, I think when people watch that show and you see the routines and stuff, and you see a little bit of behind the scenes, but there's a lot of work, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. It is 7 hours, 7 days a week, and I never took any time off. I would wring out 3 T-shirts every single day, just rehearsing, because I didn't know what I was doing. So I had, I was farther behind the track than everybody else. Other people had at least had dance. I think the first year, Joey McIntyre from Boys, what was he, New Kids on the Block or whatever it was. I mean, he was there. And everybody else had some dance trait. I had none. But I also have a competitive spirit, and I say nobody's going to beat me.
Now, was it competitive? Was there any trash talking or anything like that going on?
Well, I think the first season, we were more concerned about not falling down. And so I don't know that we were the trash talk, and I don't know that the show had developed a personality yet of that type of behavior. We were just trying to put a great show on, have a lot of fun doing it, and it became the hit that ABC can claim.
Absolutely.
It gets the year that first year that we did it, we had 37 million people watching the finals. I mean, it was unheard of. They haven't had those numbers anywhere near since, but. It was something I'll always remember. One of the great challenges of my life, and a challenge of leap and the net will appear. if you know what I mean.
Sure.
It's like I had no idea what I was doing, but I said, I'm going to do it because my imagination tells me to do it.
You know, that's the beauty of doing just about anything. You know, if you have a dream, you got to go for it, right? And that's the only way you're going to achieve it.
You know, I always say it's the only way God talks to you is through your imagination. Really, he's not talking to you through your rational mind because it's not improved. It's your rational mind can lie to you. Your imagination never lies. It doesn't know how.
Wow, that's interesting. I like that. Now we're visiting with John O'Hurley, actor, dancer, talk show host, or a game show host. You even do voices for cartoons.
So I do, SpongeBob. I do King Neptune and Phineas and Ferb and Mickey Mouse and Monster High I'm doing right now. Actually, I'm still doing Phineas and Ferb, and I'm also still doing SpongeBob as well. So, yeah, they don't stop. They're fun. I can do them in my pajamas. So it's like you. You're here in your pajamas today. No one knows.
Of course. I mean, I don't wear anything
that.
from the waist down, so it's nobody sees that. So, I would find that very difficult to do, though. So you do the voice, and then the cartoon has to match you, or do you have to? How does that work?
Usually, it's all in the hands of the director. The director really will give you the context of what you're saying. So you'll give him 3 or 4 takes on a single line. And he'll say, okay, let's go with that second take. I like that the best. That seems to have the vision, sound like the vision of what he had. Now, that being said, they usually, if they haven't done the colored cell of what you look like yet, sometimes they will just do you. And there are some things, like I did Archer, the show Archer for quite a while, and if you look at the character that I played, it's my twin.
Oh, wow.
But that's just because that's what they decided they were going to pair the character after. So.
Well, that's outstanding. John O'Hurley is visiting with us today because we are doing a Puppy Food Bank Radiothon here at Alpha Media today, and you have an opportunity to help us out with a donation. We would appreciate it. All you have to do is go to sasportstar.com. You can make a donation there, and we would certainly appreciate it. And San Antonio, is this a place you've been many times? Or
Many times.
Many times.
They had just gotten the permit for the Alamo when I was here for the first time. I've been here many times. I've had my Broadway shows here, Spam-A-Lot and Chicago the musical. I've been here for many filming events. I've had a good time here. Always loved it. It's one of the great towns in America.
It's a great place. The people are great. It's great. We just had a big weekend. We had the Final Four here. We also had the Valero Texas Open here, same weekend. So it was a big sports weekend for us here in San Antonio. And people that come, they just rave about the city.
They do, and deservedly so. I mean, the Riverwalk is just a wonderful addition. Any city would be proud to have a piece of real estate like that.
Oh, it's fantastic, and we love it, and most people do. Now, I've got to ask you, are you a sports fan at all?
I watch every Red Sox game. I watch every single Celtics game. I grew up in New England. I developed my sports allegiances early on. I saw the last 2 seasons of Ted Williams playing baseball when I was a little kid, and my dad would take me to the games. And so, the Boston blood runs through my veins. But it's fun because it makes the game. I'm such an intense fan that who's ever playing the Red Sox is an enemy of mine.
Of course.
And especially the Yankees.
Yes.
In fact, I wrote in one of my books, it's okay to hate the New York Yankees.
I think everybody hates the Yankees, even people who live in New York. Yeah,
Right. So you answer me this.
Okay.
I missed because I was filming. Just finished my 3rd film this month. And I wasn't able to watch the opening of the season, and all of a sudden the bats come out.
Yes.
Tell me about the bats.
We're still learning about them too, but they're called torpedo bats. And what they've done, they've come up with a design, from what we understand, perfectly legal, and the Yankees are using them quite well, and they were actually the first club to use these things. But some genius, I guess physics genius, came up with a way. You know how a bat is skinny and then it gets fatter as it goes up?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one is skinny, fatter in the middle, and then skinny to end. So it's kind of if you hit the ball where you're supposed to hit it in the middle of the bat,
right,
it takes off.
So it's really the center of the bat that is
center of the bat, and again, if some
they had 9 home runs.
Yes, I mean, and I think the first 2 it was something crazy like 16. Yeah. I mean, it was unbelievable, and just another reason to hate the Yankees because they were the first ones to come up with it.
It sounds to me a little bit like when golf all of a sudden adopted the trampoline head, out for the driver.
I know it is crazy. Well, we're watching the Masters. It's going on this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You see these guys just hit it a mile.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
You can't change the courses. Eventually, you're going to have to change the equipment.
I guess so.
There's only so much room in God's green earth. There, so.
Golf is a very
who's your pick?
Sport.
Who's your pick for the Masters?
Well, truth be told, Mr. O'Hurley, I picked Jordan Spieth, and he was last I checked, he wasn't doing all that great. But I think he'll make the cut. It doesn't do me any good. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of a gambling type. I like to gamble a little bit. Nothing crazy, but a little bit. So the odds for Jordan were pretty good. So I figure if I put $25 on this guy, I can make a lot of money.
No mortgage paper, just the $25.
And I'm not gonna sell the house. No, but yeah, $25. Nothing crazy.
We have bets in our house, and my wife is a golf fanatic. She played number 1 for Baylor.
Oh wow!
So she's quite a golfer. I mean, she'll blow a nice little 69 at you anytime, and not having touched a club in 3 weeks. You know what I mean? She's that kind of golfer. So we always have, any of the majors, we always have a betting pool. Well, my son, from age 7 on, has been part of the betting pool, but he always picks these. He goes by the names. He goes, oh, that's a strange name. I like that. So one year he picks a guy named Danny Willett. Guess how that happened?
He liked the name, and that worked out pretty well,
didn't it? Worked out. He ended up with a green jacket.
Nice. Well, sometimes you do that. It seems like when you have a college basketball tournament pool or whatever bracket contest, it's always that. It's the secretary or that's probably not the right word. The lady that's in the lunchroom and
scribbling away.
Yeah,
scribbling away.
I like the red jerseys or whatever the case may be. John O'Hurley joining us here because we're doing something. We want to do something very special for the Puppy Food Bank. We're having a radiothon here at the radio station. Go to sasportstar.com. sasportstar.com. You can make a donation there. And fortunately for me,
$15 a month.
$15 a month.
It's easy to do.
Put it on a credit card.
That's all.
And
you'll never have to worry about it again.
And you'll forget about it. Nice.
And you'll know that you've done something great all year long.
Absolutely.
You're feeding that's the life of a dog right there.
Everybody loves dogs.
Yep.
Everybody's. And
well, I'll tell you,
puppies.
I host the National Dog Show on Thanksgiving Day. That is next to the Super Bowl, the #1 show on television. 30 million people watch that show.
Is there anything you haven't done?
I don't know if there's anything. I don't ski. I broke my leg. I broke my leg the first time down the hill skiing.
Okay.
And tied my legs into a Windsor knot and never looked back. So it's skiing is not my thing.
Go to sasportstar.com. Fortunately for me, I get to talk to you again today.
Good.
So you're going to be back in here. We'll visit with John O'Hurley.
Yeah, we can go through my sporting. As you can see, my sporting career is really it's really worth the investigation.
So you played for the Red Sox. Is that what you're saying?
It's exactly.
In my imagination.
Well, no, but I will tell you some funny stories. Next time I see you,
okay.
We'll tell you some funny.
Fair enough. We'll do that. I look forward to it. John O'Hurley. Call in and donate. sasportstar.com, $15 a month. That's all you have to do. We want to raise a lot of money for the Puppy Food Bank. We will be back here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star right after this.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2 Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April.
John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
A sort of accident-prone bride. What's the deal?
I was just kind of like blacking out. I don't even know how to explain it, but...
Some lucky guy's gonna marry her.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I just threw up.
The 60 seconds that she was out was everybody else's favorite part of that wedding.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Tragically, recent data reveals that 40% of women in Texas will experience intimate partner violence. Christie's Hope is dedicated to breaking the cycle of domestic violence by providing shelter, healing, and counseling, and empowering survivors to take their first steps towards lasting safety and independence. Thomas J. Henry stands with us in our commitment to end domestic violence. Donate today at christieshope.org.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Texas coastal waterfront properties starting at only $49.9?
That's right. Driftwood Acres at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay, is extending their grand opening for one day. Tomorrow, book your private tour to see 1 to 3 acre properties, all with bay access, starting at just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, resort-style pool and cabana, community fishing pier, boat and RV storage, and so much more. It's happening Saturday, April 12th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at an unbelievable $49.9. Just $49.9. Call to book your private tour or for information for tomorrow. 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Appointments are limited, so call now. 210-853-0389. Texas waterfront properties will never be more affordable. 210-853-0389.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to get ready for the summer season with the Quarter Moon AC $58.99 preseason special. It's a real home run. You'll have your AC ready before the summer heat hits. We'll inspect your AC's indoor and outdoor coils, filters, temperature levels, and make sure you're ready for the summer heat, all just for $58.99. So when your AC is warming up, Quarter Moon comes in like a heavy hitter.
Hey, batter, I'm gonna give it some heat.
651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2Fi Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April.
Us here on the Blitz. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix has been replaced by a golf bag. All right, so you can see it right there. He's been replaced by a golf bag. Flight by Yingling has sent that over as a preview, as a teaser, if you will, because they're giving that away at our golf tournament on Monday. This Monday, out at the Golf Club of Texas, we're going to be giving that away. Beer Santa sent that over. So it just shows you that with Beer Santa, you don't have to be in December. This guy gives stuff away every month of the year. He's just that generous, and that's why we love the guy. So Flight by Yingling, you'll have an opportunity to win that at the golf tournament. If you're playing in the golf tournament, you can win that thing. There is a putting contest that will determine the winner of that golf bag, and it all gets set up and ready to go about 8 o'clock, we're told. If you're not participating in the golf tournament out at the Golf Club of Texas, presented by Flight by Yingling, you can go to the after party. It's going to be at the Hangar Bar right there off Petrenko Road, and there will be another opportunity to win said golf bag, plus a lot of other stuff, obviously. And I guarantee you, if you're playing in the golf tournament or you go out to the after party, you're not going to be thirsty, all right? You will not be thirsty, I promise you, because Beer Santa will make sure that you are not. So happy to be here. We got a lot to talk about, and we've been talking a lot about DeMarvion Overshown. He decided to be Agent Zero again and pick Zero, which I thought is a goofy idea, but if that's what he wants to do, that's fine. There was a report out today, though, and you all know, I'm sure you do, that, this guy is not going to be back. There were a lot of people that thought he wouldn't be back at all this season. But he is going to be back. It appears that he's doing well, but it's not going to be until mid-November, at least at this point in time, which is not good for the Cowboys. But he told Kay Adams on Up and Adams on her show that he wanted to be the comeback player of the year in 2025. So I know he's going to try and get back a little sooner than that. But he also said something on the Kay Adams show that I thought was interesting. And a lot of people are saying this is a foreshadowing of Micah Parsons and the deal that he is going to get from the Dallas Cowboys.
Look, I plan on playing with Micah for years to come. We both want the same thing, the retired Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And, I don't think, especially on this team, like, we know what we got in Micah Parsons, and we don't want to see him in another uniform. So best believe every chance I get, I'm talking about our future together. To keep that mind, keep that thought running through his mind. Like, hey, we doing this for the long run. We got some ships to win here. So, I'm putting it in there.
Well, how about that? So it sounds like, if you listen to DeMarvion Overshown, that, I don't know, maybe Micah has told him that don't worry about anything. We'll get this deal done. I'm going to be a Dallas Cowboy for years to come. That's what it sounds like, and that's how a lot of people are taking this thing. Sad for Overshown because he's been hurt both years he's been in the NFL. This knee injury, though, every CL that you have in your knee was torn. MCL, ACL, whatever ACLs there are, they were all damaged. Every single one of them. And again, it was that severe that a lot of folks thought he might not even be back this year. But it looks like he will. But don't be surprised if it's not midway through the season. Again, mid-November or so before this guy could get back on the field, and who knows. He even said, and I found it interesting, and he was the only guy I've really heard say this out loud, that it's not so much the physical part of coming back from an injury like that, because he's done it once, and he's got to do it again. He said it's the emotional part of coming back from an injury like that. And I found that fascinating because you got to believe that's it, right? I mean, that's got to be the hardest part. The physical part, these guys are used to that. They know what they're doing. They work out. They're going to rehab. They'll get all that stuff in order and do well. But then you still got that thing between your ears. And who knows? I mean, am I going to get hurt again? Am I going to be the same player that I was before I got hurt? And he admitted that those are concerns for him and will be concerns for him until he can shake that off and get back in there and play football. But unfortunate for a guy like that, because he seems like a hell of a nice guy. I mean, he really does. Great conversation on the Kay Adams Show. But I thought that was interesting. And again, a lot of folks thought maybe that's a little foreshadowing that he knows something that maybe the rest of us don't know. It's just a matter of time until Micah Parsons gets his deal done. Some other NFL news today. Jalen Petrie is a very rich man today. He got a 3-year extension with the Houston Texans. You know, the Texans are a team, since they kind of changed everything, threw out the old, brought in the new, with Nick Caserio and DeMeco Ryans, they've just changed the entire culture of that thing, and they know who's important and who's not. Got rid of pretty much the entire offensive line from last year and are starting over. But Jalen Petrie is a big part of what they do defensively. He signs a 3-year, $39 million extension today with the Texans. $30 million of that is guaranteed. So the Texans believe that they have the major pieces in place to go on and go farther in the playoffs than they've been able to do otherwise. So Jalen Petrie's going to be there. Interesting story about guys that won't go away. Joe Flacco has signed with the Cleveland Browns, a 1-year deal to play quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And it's interesting on a lot of things, right? I mean, when you look at this, they needed it. They only have Kenny Pickett. Joe Flacco's familiar with the Cleveland Browns. He's played there before. In fact, played very well for the Cleveland Browns. So he's back. Kenny Pickett's there. What does that mean for the Browns with that second pick in the draft? It's going to be interesting to see. You know, a lot of people were thinking maybe Shedeur Sanders there. If Cam Ward goes number 1, which everybody seems to think that he will, would Shedeur Sanders go number 2 to the Cleveland Browns? I'm going to say no. I mean, we've all heard that Shedeur Sanders is kind of dropping down the line when it comes to the NFL draft. But, it doesn't look like the Browns are going to sign Shedeur Sanders or draft him. You got 2 other guys there that I think would fit. Number 1, Travis Hunter, who is a do-everything player, and you can put him on offense, defense, depending on what they want to do with him, maybe a little bit of both. I'm not sure that will be sustainable over the long term, but certainly in spot situations. And then you've got Abdul Carter, who is Micah Parsons-like, according to everybody that you talk to. Very similar players. Pair him with Myles Garrett, and that could be a quarterback's nightmare. That really could be. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, but I don't think they're going to take Shedeur Sanders. Then you go to the Giants next at number 3. Well, they've got Russell Wilson there. Jameis Winston signed there. I know those 2 guys are veteran guys and looking in the rearview mirror of their prime for the most part. Would they want Shedeur Sanders? I think it would be a pretty good spot for him to land in so he's able to learn from those 2 guys. But then you still have, if Travis Hunter goes to the Browns at 2, you still have Abdul Carter there. I cannot imagine him getting past the 3rd pick. So I don't think Sanders goes there either. Then you got number 4. They don't need a quarterback, the New England Patriots. They got their guy in Drake May. It could be as far down as 9 before we see a Shedeur Sanders go. That's when the New Orleans Saints draft. Again, I think a good place for Shedeur to go because Well, let's face it, they've still got a Carr, right? And so Sanders can sit behind him, learn behind him. But I think all of this, when you look at it, it's interesting when it comes to Shedeur Sanders and how he has fallen down the list a little bit. The other thing that does, Joe Flacco going to the Cleveland Browns, the big rumor was Kirk Cousins was going to get traded to the Browns. What does that mean for Kirk Cousins? You know, Cousins has a no-trade clause, but by all reports out of Atlanta, he was going to drop that if they were going to trade him to the Cleveland Browns. So you got Kirk Cousins sitting out there, you got that bum Aaron Rodgers sitting out there, and you got Pittsburgh sitting there. Everybody seems to think that Aaron Rodgers will eventually go to Pittsburgh. But now you've got an option with Kirk Cousins. You've got that option. The draft is going to be fascinating this year, I think.
He's a bum.
Well, I agree with that statement. But the draft is going to be fascinating. It's going to be absolutely fascinating. I can't wait for it. It is 2 weeks from yesterday is when that is going to happen. The other thing that I saw today when it comes to the NFL, and it just tells you how huge the NFL is and how much interest there is in the NFL. How many times have you thought about the schedule release? Now, I'll be honest with you. It's always a pretty good day because you kind of get the matchups and the set. Now, we already know the opponents for every team. We just don't know when they're going to play. But the schedule release, story today, all by itself on a couple of different websites, mid-May. Don't know when. Could be the 12th. Could be the 13th. Could be the 14th. They haven't said yet. So they just kind of dangle that carrot there, right? Just dangle it out there for you and just let your mouth water a little bit. The NFL is a monster. It is a monster, and it's incredible how it has gotten, but it's unbelievable. So in case you want to put that on your calendar, we don't know the date yet, but it will be sometime in mid-May. I just can't wait for all of this stuff, and it's too bad, honestly, as we get set for the NBA playoffs, which will begin next week, by the way. The NFL still rules. It's amazing how this game has taken off, how it is just the biggest and the best. And then you've got college football, which I loved. We had a great season of college football. I think we all agree. The playoffs, I thought, for the most part, were pretty good, right? I mean, it was good. But you've still got this NIL thing hanging over your head, transfer portal hanging over your head. And now we have players who are holding out of spring practice because they want to renegotiate their contract. That is actually happening right now as we speak in college football. We're going to talk a lot about that when we come back. Again, though, we are doing a puppy food radiothon today, and we need your help. All you have to do is go to sasportstar.com. John O'Hurley told us that $15 a month. That's what it is. You put it on a credit card and you forget about it, and it will make all the difference in the world for these puppies and the shelters that take care of them so they don't have to worry about food. Go to sasportstar.com if you can. If you can help us out, we would appreciate you doing that. And it again, would make all the difference in the world. And by the way, I was handed a piece of paper here, and I need to thank Round Table Pizza of San Antonio for catering the food for this year's Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Now, Edwin, I'm curious, my friend. Round Table Pizza is good pizza. It's really good. I've never been. I haven't seen any Round Table Pizza hit this studio yet. Have you?
They haven't come here?
They haven't. Have you seen it?
No.
I'm just wondering.
Is it really good pizza, though? Because I've never been.
It's delicious. It is fantastic pizza. It really is. I'm kind of a little bit hurt here, you know? I mean, it's like there's pizza. I'm thanking Round Table Pizza. But Edwin and I are sitting in here, our stomachs are growling.
Did everyone but the sports people get some Round Table Pizza?
I don't know. I was just handed this note to say thank Round Table Pizza, and of course we will. They catered the food for this year's Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, which we're a part of, Edwin. You and I are a part of this thing. We're part of the team.
I wonder if there's some pizza in the Alamo Lounge.
Well, there needs to be. Ben needs to find its way in here, don't you think?
I would hope so.
Of course you would hope so. Who do we need to call, Edwin? What phone call do we need to make sure we get some pizza in here? Maybe I'll just call Round Table Pizza directly to get them in here. Again, though, if you can donate, go to sasportstar.com. I'll worry about the pizza. I know none of you feel sorry for me. That's fine. It's okay. I understand. I'll just sit here and be hungry. That's all right. Again, thanks to our friends at Flight by Yingling for bringing this golf bag in here today that you have a chance to win on Monday at our golf tournament if you're playing in that, or at the after party at the Hangar Bar right there off Petranco Road. College football is out of control, and it's only going to get worse unless they do something about that. We will talk about that when we return right here on sasportstar.com, on the Blitz, on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, I want to tell you about Stevens Roofing. I love talking about Stevens Roofing because, well, they're just a great company, family-owned company, locally based company. And look, it's springtime, and I know the weather is fantastic today, but we've already been hit with some of those spring storms. And they get vicious, and you just never know when those thunderstorms are going to pop up. They can come out of nowhere. And when they do, they're going to bring with them rain, wind, hail, all of that kind of stuff. You want to make sure you have a roofer handy and a roofer's number handy. Stevens Roofing and Solar, you can call them at 210-785-0994. Look, right now, they'll come out to your house. They'll give you a free, no-obligation roof inspection. Yeah, they'll take a look at your roof to make sure that it is A-OK for the storms that you know are eventually going to head our way. They always do in the springtime. Call them, 210-785-0994. They'll send a crew out. If you need a new roof, they'll let you know that. If you just need a minor repair, they'll let you know that too. And they'll let you know if your roof is in tip-top shape. They'll do it all. They'll give you that peace of mind that you want, that you need when those storms come rolling in. Stevens Roofing and Solar. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
To the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
If you're looking to up your beer game, Carbach has you covered. From Hopadillo to Crawford Bach to Ziegenbach to their best seller, the Love Street, there's something for everybody in the lineup, and you can find it anywhere. Next time you're out and about, ask your bartender to make it a Carbach.
You could think you found your dream home online. The kitchen island looks perfect for your inner chef. The backyard, a paradise for your green thumb. And that extra room, hello walk-in closet. But here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. And this sound, yeah, you're gonna be hearing a lot of that. Don't let your dream home turn into a nightmare. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
With the Spurs out of the postseason, a way to make watching the playoffs more exciting is with Underdog. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. Love playing Underdog, one of the leading sports apps where you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Play the Pick'em game where you go higher or lower on predicted stats like points, assists, rebounds. Create your own entry and have a lot of fun. Download the Underdog app. Sign up now using the promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun with promo code STAR. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-383-7733. That's 800-383-7733.
Paid for by Wesley Wesley Financial
I
Group.
had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Let's get you updated on what's happening. Round 2 of the Masters tournament. Justin Rose is in the clubhouse. -8. He shot a 1-under round of 71 today. Here's your leader, Bryson DeChambeau. Shot 68 today. He is -7, just one shot back. Then you've got Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, both at -6. Scheffler's still on the golf course as we speak.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio.
Isn't it always a great day? Because it always gives you that you look ahead kind of thing, right? To the weekend, you got all that stuff, and you're making plans, whatever you're going to do, whether it's going to be a relaxing weekend or something other than that, some fun, some golf, whatever the case may be. Friday is just a great day. Love Fridays. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Reinagel. This is the Blitz. Jason Minix is off. He's been replaced by that beautiful golf bag right there. Flight by Yingling golf bag. It's beautiful. I tell you what, it's going to everything that I can do to make sure that gets out to the golf course on Monday morning. You know, there might be a secret hole in my trunk that thing just might fall into, and I'm going to go show up at the golf course and say, sorry, I don't know what happened to it. Somebody took it. I'm not sure. Until they see me on the golf course with this nice Flight by Yingling golf bag, and then I would be caught. So I guess I'm going to have to do that, be responsible, take that thing out to the golf course, and then hopefully you, if you're playing in the golf tournament, can win that thing. There's going to be a nice little putting tournament that is going to provide the winner of that nice Flight by Yingling bag. Now, look, if you're not playing in the golf tournament, don't feel left out, because you might have an opportunity to win another one, because we're going to be giving away another one of those beautiful golf bags at the Hangar Bar off Petranco, which is the site of the after party after the golf tournament. You don't have to play in the golf tournament to go out there and participate with that. We're going to do the Blitz, Jason and I, on Monday at the Hangar Bar, 2 to 6. So you can come on out there and have some fun with us. And maybe you'll win one of those. Maybe you'll win a nice Flight by Yingling Kanga cooler, or a Flight by Yingling golf shirt, or a T-shirt, or a visor. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that Beer Santa has in his sack that he's going to be giving away on that day, including ice cold Flight by Yingling. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Masters is going on. I read you some of the scores, and it's just beautiful out there. It's really hard not to be distracted when that thing's going on. We've got a big TV monitor in the glass box of fun there that Edwin Hafner is securing today because Minix and Pledge left us all alone. So that's what they do, left us all alone. But it is a fun day to be here because we are in the middle of a Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, station-wide, all the stations here at Alpha Media, including KTSA. And John O'Hurley is here. Now, you might remember him from Seinfeld. You might remember him from Family Feud. He was the host on that show for a while. A couple of other things. I mean, the guy's been on Broadway. He's done some soap operas. He's done a little bit of everything. One Dancing with the Stars. He does cartoon voices, all of that kind of stuff. He's here today because he is the spokesperson for that. He actually started it, he told me, with Bob Wells. So he's here today to promote that, and you can help us out if you go to sasportstar.com. $15 a month will provide a ton of food for the puppies at the local places here in San Antonio and the surrounding areas that take on the puppies and provide for them. So if you could do that, we would appreciate it. sasportstar.com. Go over there and make that donation, and we would certainly appreciate it. Mr. O'Hurley will join us here coming up here in just a few minutes, and we'll talk further with him about all of his escapades and everything that he has done. Because I tell you what, that dude has done just about everything. That is for sure. But it is that time in the show. We normally do something called the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
It is a Headline Blitz, and I tell you what, I've got a lot of things written down here, but we may not get to any of them because I've got to, except the first one, I've got to rant just a little bit, and I'm really curious what you guys and gals think about this. And you can let me know if you want to call into the station. You can do that, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can tweet at me at Joe Reinagle 210. And if you're on our YouTube channel, please subscribe and like our YouTube channel. And you can comment there about this. How do you feel? Look, and if you've listened to the show at any time or at any time, and we talk about college football, I'm not a fan of how the NIL is being run now and the transfer portal and all of that. And I've said, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but I said it's only going to get worse. And today, well, I hate to be right on that, but it's just a foreshadowing of what's going to come. Have you heard of a guy by the name of Nico Lamaliva? I think that's how you pronounce his name. He is the quarterback for the Tennessee Volunteers. Well, they're having spring practice right now, and Mr. Lamaliva is not there. He's holding out. He's holding out. That's what he's doing, holding out. Now, according to reports, this guy is set right now to earn $2.2 to $2.4 million in NIL money in 2025. Okay? But ESPN is reporting that Lamaliva's representative have said that there is no NIL negotiation going on. However, that seems to conflict what is happening right now. According to ESPN, Lamaliva's reps are seeking $4 million in NIL money prior to the NCAA's winter transfer portal closing. Now, the Volunteers, at least at this point in time, according to these reports, are holding firm. And they're saying, look, we're not going to renegotiate this. We made a deal, and that's our deal. We're not going to renegotiate. Well, they're having spring practice. This guy's not there. He's holding out. At least that's what everybody's saying. He's not there. So you use your own imagination as to what he's doing. He's holding out. Y'all, I'm telling you, this is a problem. Now, I don't care what you think about Fox News. That's beyond the point. But yesterday, on one of their shows, they had the 4 commissioners of the power conferences. And all 4 of them basically threw their hands up and said, the only thing that's going to fix this thing is the politicians in Washington. It's the only thing that's going to fix this thing. And it's going to have to be done very similarly to the NFL. Collective bargaining agreement, The same thing the NFL has. A free agent signing period, contracts, the whole thing. Because this quarterback for Tennessee, and what I find funny about this is when you look at this report and you see the comments from volunteer fans, they're going, this dude's not that good. I mean, he's good, but he's not like the second coming of Peyton Manning, at least not yet. Who is he to demand a $2 million raise on a negotiated contract that he did already? It's getting out of control, and that's the problem. And I'm telling you, this is just the first domino to fall when it comes to this. It's the first domino to fall. I really want to hear what you think, what all of y'all think. It's just incredibly frustrating when you see this kind of stuff. And I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. And if Tennessee caves to this guy, the floodgates are going to open. They're going to. If they cave to this guy, they're going to completely open the floodgates. I hope they don't. I hope they stand firm. I really do, because again, I'm afraid of what's going to happen. Now, if you're on our YouTube page, and I said this, some guy named Miggy V1203, that's catchy, says I'm butchering the dude's name. You know what? I really don't care. The guy is butchering college football completely. What do y'all think? I'd like to hear from you. Am I way off base? Am I saying things that you don't think are true? Does the kid deserve $4 million instead of, 2.2 or 2.4? I'd like to hear from you, whether you want to call in, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Comment on the YouTube page. I don't see anybody commenting there. So what do you think? Am I off base? Do you think players ought to be allowed to do this? Hold out for a bigger contract that he just negotiated? I mean, this wasn't that long ago that he came in and said, yeah, okay, $2.2 million will be just fine. Well, I changed my mind. Now I want $4 million. Dude, I'm going to tell you, this is the donkey of the day as far as I'm concerned. But I don't think it's necessarily all his fault. I don't think it's all his fault. He's getting some bad advice. But look, agents are involved now. Families involved, and they see dollar signs. And that's the problem, and it's a big problem. Want to hear from you, and we'll talk a lot more about this throughout the day, because it's frustrating as hell as far as I'm concerned. But again, we've got a Puppy Food Bank Radiothon going on, and we got a big celebrity roaming the halls here at Alpha Media. His name is John O'Hurley, and you might remember him from his Seinfeld days, or one of the other many things that he's done throughout his glorious career. He's going to be back here in studio to talk to us about the Puppy Food Bank Radiothon and really who knows what else. John O'Hurley, actor, voice, game show host, all of the above. He's done it all. He's been on Broadway and all of that stuff. He'll be here to talk to us when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2 Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon Friday,
Here, you know me, you know the Rue Pub is my go-to spot. No better place to go watch any big game, any big event than the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. And when you go into the Rue Pub, go hungry. The food is fantastic. I love the fried shrimp on the menu. They have the biggest and best wings in town. About 15 different burgers on the menu, including the original Wemby burger. And they have that new bison burger that is outstanding. Maybe you want a chicken sandwich, great appetizers, great salads, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru, get into the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. They have all the beers you want and a full bar. The game room has the best darts area in town and indoor cornhole. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Oh, wow, honey, I love it. It's so beautiful and so sparkly.
Just like you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
I'll wear it every day. It goes with everything.
This Mother's Day, wow Mom with spirit-lifting, outfit-making, express your love jewelry. Shop jtv.com/mom for wow-worthy and budget-friendly styles.
I'm never taking it off.
Another wow factor? Sign up for JTV Text and get $30 off. If she loves jewelry, she'll love JTV.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We're back here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Very exciting day around these around the building today. All the radio stations participating in a Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. And it's basically exactly what it says. We're providing food for puppies at the shelters, the various shelters and places that they take care of them, so they don't have to worry about that. And a guy that really kind of started this whole thing and has done just about everything in life one could imagine, John O'Hurley. Welcome back. It's great to talk to you again. I know you're roaming around the building and talking and raising money. And
well, I think it's very good that they're willing to give up the time for a very good cause. Yes, we're trying to raise money for the puppies that can't raise the money for themselves. And,
that's true.
But boy, they need to eat, and come the end of the month, every shelter has to scratch its head and figure out where they're going to get the money to do it.
Well, if they don't have to worry about food, then they can worry about cost and expense of the other things, like medication.
Medications and training,
sure.
and socialization, all the other things that they do, and just keeping keeping the facility up and running. It's when people take the job of the volunteer shelter, it's not all volunteer. There's a lot of capital expense that goes into it, and not the least of which is the food. That's number one.
Yeah,
that's
quite
the
a
red
bit.
line item.
Everybody loves puppies, though, right? I mean, everybody loves puppies. Nobody would go into any of these shelters and see those puppies and not just go, oh. I mean, puppies are great.
And some of them are, older dogs as well.
Yeah.
Because some of them get dropped off as well, and they're tougher to. It takes a special family to want to have an older dog because you don't have the experience. You know that you're not going to have the same life experience with them. But there are some people that see with the goodness of their heart, see that it's just it's worth saving an older dog as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Go to sasportstar.com. You can donate there. It's $15 a month. You put it on a credit card and you forget about it.
That's exactly. It couldn't be as simple as that.
Just that, right? $15.
And you know that you've done something wonderful.
Absolutely. So hopefully we'll have some sort of a tally by the time or something by the time we leave the show today. And thank all of you for your donations. Mm-hmm. And I know you've been doing that all day. And again, we appreciate you being here. It's nice to have, when you're doing a radiothon, to have somebody of your stature. I mean, you've done it all when it comes to acting and game show hosting. You've been on Broadway. You're shooting more movies now, and you've been a soap opera star. I mean, you've done everything.
I've had an interesting career, haven't
yes.
I? Yeah. The only thing I don't do is ski.
Well, that's a good thing. Probably pretty safe. Now, obviously, a lot of people know you from Seinfeld,
mm-hmm.
and interesting character that you played.
Jay Peterman was a legend in his own mind.
Yes, he was. Did you have any idea when you're doing that show that it would grow to be the show that it was?
I'd be cheating you if I said no. No, I did.
Yeah.
Well, we were 150 or 140 shows into the run, and we were the number one show on television, and the syndication deal came out, and we were it was $1 billion syndication deal. So you kind of knew that you were in St. Peter's Basilica every time you walked in there, and you gave the show that much respect. You did your homework, you came in prepared, and because you wanted it to continue, because you knew that you would be watching this show with your grandchildren someday. And I got to tell you, I can't say that about any other show.
You're absolutely right, and it is still, if I'm not mistaken, the number one syndicated show in the world.
It's 85 countries it shows in.
That's incredible.
And then Netflix just bought it, so now it's binged watched by 14 to 20-year-olds. So we have a brand new audience, believe it or not.
Well, see, I like that because I watched Seinfeld, and you can go back in some of the other shows that were popular, back in the day, and my kids, they don't know some of those shows existed. And I'm saying, you're missing out.
Yeah, but Seinfeld, Seinfeld has, its niche is that it's about everything. And it's the stuff that everybody complained about on Seinfeld is the same stuff that everybody complains about today. It's just, it's minutia.
Yeah.
And they were lucky enough to be able to take minutia and just break it down into every little tiny component and make it worthwhile and humorous.
Well, and again, you're right. I mean, I think it's as me, when I'm watching, you say, that's me. I mean, I deal with the same thing and the crazy things that happen. And I think that's what makes that show so much fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's
and
good.
everybody was passionately mediocre, and eternally selfish. I mean, none of us were nice people. There wasn't. I mean, if you think about it, there wasn't a nice person on the show, and they would have. Each one would sell each other out all the time.
That's true, which made it funny. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
We're visiting with John O'Hurley because we're having a Puppy Food Bank radiothon here at the station. You can go to sasportstar.com. We would really appreciate it if you did that and make a donation, $15 a month, and it would help out tremendously. We've got a lot of shelters here just in this area that will be helping out. I mean, most of this money
stays right in the area because there are so many puppies that and full-grown dogs that they just need it. During the pandemic, everybody said, well, I'm in lockdown. I think maybe I'll go get a dog as a companion. And that was fine until the pandemic ended and the dogs went back to the shelters. So not only did they have the problem of the resident population that they normally had, but now they had all these dogs that were being returned to them. So shelters that could hold 200 to 250 dogs, now it's 650 dogs. Well, they didn't have the budgets that could feed that many dogs, but they're no-kill shelters, so they took them anyway. And this has become quite a dilemma to make sure that the food is there. And it's happening all over. It's in 10 states now that we're working with now.
High-profile voice, obviously, John O'Hurley. What made you decide to get involved with something like this?
Well, this was something that a dear friend of mine, Bob Wills, who is Bob known for everything in entertainment, from sports cars to Comic-Cons, and he's kind of Mr. He's like P.T. Barnum. But the good thing, the wonderful thing about him is the size of his heart is the size of his vision. And whatever he says he can do, he will do. And he decided that this is something worth doing. He believes that he's been a huge dog, aficionado for most of his life, and said that we can accomplish this if we all get together and put some money aside and buy the food that's necessary to keep these dogs alive, so that they no longer have to worry about this off their pro forma, their budget.
Well, obviously you're a dog lover.
Mm-hmm.
You do the National Dog Show.
Right? I host the National Dog Show, but I've had a dog in my life ever since I was 4.
Yeah, I think most of us have. I mean, I can remember the dogs that I grew up with, and they were just your companions and just part of the family, really.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so it's, everybody loves dogs. And I don't want to be friends with somebody that doesn't.
It's an interesting thing, isn't it? Yeah, there are guys that said, why would I want to go out with a woman who doesn't like dogs?
Yes, exactly right. So it's
and
fantastic.
vice versa.
And vice versa, yes, yes. I mean, you go home after work and the dog's there, always happy to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
You're the rock star in their lives.
That's it.
The dogs have 2 senses of time. They know now and they know never. And if you don't believe me, try and reprimand a dog for something he did on the floor 15 minutes ago, and I guarantee you he's already forgiven himself for it. It's a wonderful lesson in life about the way we deal with time. Dogs live in the present moment.
They do. They do. They're fantastic. John O'Hurley is with us here on the Blitz, and you can go to sasportstar.com. Help us out with a $15 a month donation. You're going to feed a lot of puppies, and you're going to feed a lot of them right here. I've got to ask you, because a lot of us grew up watching, you remember Richard Dawson, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you were talking about Family Feud, and he was kind of the first. You did that for a while.
Well, I'll tell you a very interesting story. Back in the mid-'80s, I was kind of Mr. Daytime Television, and I was on a show called Loving. I was the original twin brothers on Daytime, and Family Feud decided to have a soap star, guys against the girls, and so I was part of that show. So I didn't know much about the game, and I didn't care much about the game. It was just kind of fun to be out in L.A. and on a game show, and but I kept watching it. I just kept watching Richard, and I kept saying to myself, "This is a pretty good gig he's got here." Like
No
this.
doubt, no doubt.
20 years later to the day, I would say, Family Feud was mine.
That just seems like such a fun show
to
be a part of.
Absolutely. It was a fun show. And people say, well, why did you quit the show? And I said, well, it was becoming a bit of a penis joke. if you know what I mean.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and they were moving the show down to Orlando, and I said, well, that's where shows go to die. And so it was also conflicting with so many other things that I was doing on Broadway and films and stuff I was doing. So it was time to bequeath it to somebody else. And Steve Harvey took it over. Has done a wonderful job.
Yeah.
But he still kept the show alive. But I had some fun with it. And what I loved about Family Feud was that it was one of the shows that you could take otherwise intelligent people and turn them into someone as dumb as a box of rocks by simply pointing the camera at them. We would have, I'll give you an example. I had two men that came up to the face-off, otherwise intelligent men, certainly college-educated men. They came up to the face-off, and the question was this: name a classic film that begins with the letter C. And you would say what? Can you think of
a
film?
classic? Wow, I'd have to think about it. Cleopatra.
Oh, all right. Well,
Okay.
that would have been up there, sure. Cleopatra, Citizen Kane, Caddyshack.
Okay, all right, okay.
They were all up there. A classic film that begins with the letter C, Seabiscuit.
Okay.
And you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
So then, and also, they would always stick Grandma down on the end of the line as though, geez, but they won't find her down there, you know. And so one day we were talking, or one day the question was, name something that you would do to yourself to make yourself seem more attractive on a first date. And you get on the line and you'd say, what would you say? Say something.
Bring flowers.
Bring flowers. Wonderful idea. I'm sure that was up there on the board. We go right down the aisle. Everybody has a good answer. We get to Grandma, and I grabbed her hands and I gave her hand a little kiss, which was true to what I did, as opposed to Richard Dawson.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, dear, I want you to think back now. Name something that someone would do to make themselves seem more appealing to you on a first date. And she sat there and looked me straight in the eye, and she just looked and looked and looked, and she said, stuff your pants with a vegetable.
Okay.
You can't make that up.
It's hilarious.
Grandma down to the end came up with the golden line of the day. Yeah, but it was a fun show.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was
I
kind
can
of like
imagine.
it was like hosting a cocktail party every day.
That's fantastic. So much to talk to you about, I tell you, but we've got some business to take care of. We got a Puppy Food Bank radiothon going on. We would appreciate it if you go to sasportstar.com and make that $15 a month donation.
$15 a month, that's all we need. It's believe it or not, that becomes one of the bricks that we need to build the building. That's it.
It's a lot of fun talking to you, and I know you're going to run around the building and talk to everybody else, but we'll chat again, I'm sure.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you so much. John O'Hurley, we appreciate him. And again, seriously, go to sasportstar.com. If you can make the donation there and help us out. We want to raise a lot of money. And again, as Mr. O'Hurley said, all the money, the majority of it stays right here in this area. So if you can go and you can make that donation, we would appreciate it. All right, when we come back, I got a question for you. I still want to get your thoughts on the Tennessee quarterback that I obviously don't know how to pronounce his name, holding out for more money, not at spring practice. So I want your thoughts on that, but I also want your thoughts on something else. Ja Morant, what is this guy doing? And what is his end game? There's got to be something there. What is the guy's end game? I can't figure this guy out. Can you? We'll talk about it when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, we'll be live from the golf course in Texas. Get up early. We're going to have some fun.
Yep, we'll be talking about the NFL draft. We'll be talking about NBA playoffs. Talking about who won the Masters. Lots to discuss. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Texting to drive? Oh, I'm terrible about that.
I'm the worst.
Wait, I gotta finish this text. Now, hold on.
Caitlyn Jenner killed somebody 6 years ago. They said she was texting.
So what happened to her?
She got out. Caitlyn Jenner.
The balls on that gal.
If that's not the promo of the week.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry, you called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Texas coastal waterfront properties starting at only $49.9?
That's right. Driftwood Acres at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay, is extending their grand opening for one day. Tomorrow, book your private tour to see 1 to 3 acre properties, all with bay access, starting at just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, resort-style pool and cabana, community fishing pier, boat and RV storage, and so much more. It's happening Saturday, April 12th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at an unbelievable $49.9. Just $49.9. Call to book your private tour or for information for tomorrow. 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Appointments are limited, so call now. 210-853-0389. Texas waterfront properties will never be more affordable. 210-853-0389.
Rox Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the In-Body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit roxdiscountvitamins.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-383-7733. That's 800-383-7733.
Paid for by Wesley Financial.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
That's going on. I honestly don't know what's going on with Ja Morant. I am Joe Reinagle. Edwin Hafner is in there in the glass box of fun, running things, pushing the buttons. Jason Minix is off. He's been replaced by a golf bag. It looks pretty good. I don't think he's ever looked better, as a matter of fact. So Yeah, Flight by Yingling brought that over, and you can win that at our golf tournament. If you are participating on Monday out at the Golf Club of Texas, then you have an opportunity to win that. There's a putting contest out there. So it starts at 8 o'clock. Tee off out there is at 9 o'clock. So you get in the putting tournament, and whoever's the best putter is going to walk away with that golf bag. But don't fret. If you're not playing in the golf tournament, shame on you. But if you're not, or you couldn't get in, you're certainly welcome to go with us to the Hangar Bar right there on Petrenko. That's where the after party is. That's where Jason and I will be doing the show Monday, the Blitz from 2 to 6. You can come on out there and have an opportunity to win another golf bag, plus a bunch of great prizes. Beer Santa's going to be there. You want to meet him? Maybe even let you sit in his lap. Who knows? And tell him what you want for cold Flight by Yingling. Sorry, Renee. But it's going to be a fun time. You know the beer's going to be flowing. It's going to be. The Flight by Yingling is going to be flowing. It's going to be ice cold. It's going to be great fun. You go into the Hangar Bar, and you can listen to all the lies that the golfers will tell, because that's what we golfers do. We make a bad round sound like a really good one. So come on out and have some fun with us. If you're in the tournament, great. Putting contest when you get there. If you're not, come on out and join us at the Hangar Bar, and we'll have some fun on Monday out at the Golf Club of Texas. Ja Morant, love the guy. I think he's a fantastic talent. The guy he's amazing. He's one hell of a player, but I don't understand I don't know if attitude's the right word. Not sure if that's it, or his mindset. Maybe that's the right word. I'm not sure. Either way, the guy got in trouble. Didn't get suspended, but he got in trouble. He got fined $75,000 for his little gun motions that he does after he hits a shot. Adam Silver said, "Ja, please don't do that anymore. We don't allow that here." So Ja thought it would be okay. Wasn't going to do the gun motion. Thought he would do a grenade blowing up motion after he made a three-point shot. Now, he's done that a couple of times, including last night. By the way, Memphis got roasted by Minnesota last night, so it makes things that much worse. But Ja made a three-pointer, and when he did it, he made the motion like he pulled the pin out of the grenade, threw it into the crowd, and then made that sound, which I can't imagine that if Adam Silver's not happy with the gun motion, that he's not going to be too happy with the grenade motion. I'll be totally honest with you. I don't have that big of a problem with it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I know that's not politically correct, but I don't really have that big of a problem with it. It doesn't bother me that much. But I'm not Adam Silver, and I'm certainly not the guys on the TNT broadcast.
He has a history that maybe he shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, maybe just
leave the celebrations with people might die alone.
You know what they're doing, because y'all going to keep talking about that. Pull that pin.
I know one person happy right now. Who's that? Taylor Jenkins ain't got to deal with this crap. He's going to get another job that he deserves. I'm like, I don't have to deal with this immature stuff.
Immature stuff. Well, Charles Barkley's not a fan of the grenade motion. Neither was Kenny Smith. But Shaq seemed to be okay with it. Taylor Jenkins, obviously the coach of the Memphis Grizzlies, who was fired, about a month or two ago. So interesting stuff. And again, Ja Morant, I want to see Ja Morant in the playoffs. I don't think Memphis has got the team to go anywhere, but they certainly don't if they don't have Ja Morant. And I want to see this young man play. I think he's a fantastic talent. I just don't know if he's trying to get in trouble, if he's trying to be controversial. I don't know what he's trying to do. But he said at shoot-around yesterday that he's going to keep doing it until somebody's bothered by it. His words were, he will continue the grenade celebration until someone has a problem with it. And if they have a problem with it, he'll find something else to do. I'd like to see that guy in the playoffs. I'd like to see him on the basketball floor because, again, I love watching him play. He is a fantastic talent, and I love watching him play. You remember Ja Morant, when he first came out, I mean, people were talking about him as the face of the NBA. I mean, they were, because he's that good, and he was playing that well. And then he got into the trouble that he got into, and, it kind of diminished him a little bit. But he's still a hell of a player and a hell of a talent, and I love watching that guy play. So I wish he would knock this stuff off just because of that. Even though I'm not going to apologize. I just don't have that big of a problem with it. I really don't, but a lot of people do. And if the boss tells you to stop doing something, you might want to stop doing something. So, Ja, stop, will you? You know, we talk about the playoffs in the NBA, and I tell you what, it is fantastic. The East is pretty well decided, right? You kind of know what's going on in the East. But the Western Conference, my goodness, it's a jumbled mess. I mentioned that Minnesota beat Memphis last night, which knocked the Grizzlies out of the 6th seed down into the 7th seed. Golden State, the beneficiary of that, they moved up to the 6th seed. So if the playoffs began today, the Grizzlies would have to play in the play-in tournament. The Warriors would not. But that could change because all of these teams, including your San Antonio Spurs, have 2 games left in the regular season. Spurs play the Phoenix Suns tonight. Both teams eliminated from playoff contention, play-in contention. The Suns have lost 8 in a row. I mean, they are just a free-falling circus right now, which would lead you to believe that Mike Budenholzer will not be the head coach of the Phoenix Suns next year. Another opening, and we've been talking about a lot of openings in the NBA, and it's going to happen. There's some high-profile coaches that are out there. And we've talked about Mike Malone getting fired at Denver, which is a crazy firing that nobody saw coming. Taylor Jenkins, crazy. Nobody saw that coming. At least Phoenix, it looks like, is going to wait until the season ends to make their decision. But this playoff picture could change. With the exception of Oklahoma City and the Rockets, they're locked into the 1 and 2 seeds. After that, you've got a battle for 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the Timberwolves and Grizzlies still right there. They could get up into that upper echelon. It's incredible how this is playing out. And I love the Western Conference. As long as I've been covering basketball, which is a long time, San Antonio Spurs, fortunate enough to ride their coattails to 5 championships. The Western Conference has always been dominant. It's always been dominant. And it still is. And I wonder why. I honestly wonder why the Western Conference is always so much better than the Eastern Conference. Now, granted, there's a solid team, a couple of them over there in Cleveland and Boston. Boston, the defending champs. So there are a couple of pretty good teams over there. But overall, when you look at the Eastern Conference, it's a disaster. I mean, it's pretty much a disaster. And I just don't know why that conference in itself can't ever get over the hump and be better or as good as the West. Because if you're in the Eastern Conference, you're just kind of ho-hum, right? I mean, everybody is pretty well set for the most part. But the Western Conference, things could change with every game. And that's what's the beauty of it. And I love that about it. And it makes it exciting. The only thing we could have in the Eastern Conference, the Knicks and the Pacers could change places. The Pistons and the Bucks perhaps could change places. But everybody else they already know who's going to be in the play-in tournament. You got Orlando, Atlanta, Chicago, and Miami. They're in. Everybody else is eliminated. Toronto, Brooklyn, Philly, Charlotte, and Washington. Cleveland and Boston, the only ones there. But pretty much, when you look at it down the line, it's set. It is set there. I don't know. I can't figure out an answer for it. I honestly can't figure out an answer for it. It's just amazing that it's worked out that way. And it's been that way as long as I've been covering the Spurs. I mean, you're talking about damn near, 28 years? Almost 30 years now. The West has been dominant when it comes to NBA basketball. All the best teams from top to bottom are in the Western Conference and not in the East. And it's amazing to me that the East just never gets any better. It never does, not from top to bottom. Cleveland and Boston have something to say about it. They're going to battle it out to see who goes to the NBA Finals. Boston is a monster. There's no doubt about that. Cleveland's playing great. But other than that, I wouldn't be afraid of anybody else if I'm in the West. I wouldn't be afraid of the Knicks. The Knicks always come up short. Always. Not afraid of them. Are you? I'd be more afraid, and I mean this in all sincerity. Right now, I wouldn't want to play the Detroit Pistons. And it's funny how the Pistons now are among the Eastern Conference's elite. They're the 6th seed. They're not going to fall any further than that. They have built a team there that is it's scary. It is downright scary, the Detroit Pistons. I don't think anybody wants to play those guys. So we'll move on, and there's some big games as you move through the next 2 games. Spurs out of it, although when you look at the Spurs, they're playing the Suns tonight. Suns have already given up. I think they're halfway to Mexico already. They don't give a damn. They've lost 8 in a row. Spurs could win that, although I'm baffled that Phoenix is a 5.5-point favorite in this game tonight. It's really baffling that they are. San Antonio playing hard. You got to give them credit for that. You got to give the entire organization credit for that this team continues to play hard. They had something to say to the Golden State Warriors the other day, and knocked them out of the regular playoffs, the top 6 teams for a moment, until Minnesota beat Memphis last night. So give the Spurs some credit. They are playing well, and that's a good thing. They could actually end the season, when you look at it, on a 3-game winning streak, because they've got the Suns tonight, and then they come back home in their final game on Sunday. They play Toronto. Toronto doesn't give a damn either. So they could actually end the season on a 3-game winning streak. Doesn't matter, other than to make us feel good and give us a charge as we head into the offseason, which I hope is a great offseason. Looking here just to see some of these games. Big game tonight. When you look at it, Memphis is at Denver. That's a huge game. Minnesota shouldn't have any trouble with Brooklyn tonight. Cleveland's taking on the New York Knicks tonight. Cleveland really doesn't have a lot to play for because they've already locked in the number 1 seed. So they don't have a lot to play for. So that benefits the New York Knicks because they do have something to play for. Milwaukee's taking on Detroit. That's another big game. So there's the way it's shaping up, and it does this sometimes it doesn't. But the way that it's shaping up, there are some good matchups and some meaningful matchups all the way to the end. And to me, that is fantastic, and I love it. I'm ready for the playoffs. We get the play-in games next week. I believe starting on Tuesday is when they start. So Tuesday and Wednesday, and then the real playoffs will begin the following weekend, next weekend. And I'm looking forward to that. NBA playoff action is better than anything else. I mean, it is just fantastic. I wish they weren't all 7 games. I wish there was a little more immediacy to what they're doing and to how they play those things. But there's not, so it's what it is. But playoff basketball is fantastic. NBA playoff basketball, it's fantastic. So I know we're going to be talking a lot about that, and I can't wait for next week. You also next week to look forward to, besides our golf tournament on Monday, Cowboys will assemble for OTAs, voluntary OTAs. And it's going to be interesting to see if one Micah Parsons decides to show up for that, or does he not? Again, it is voluntary, but I think Jerry would like for him to be there and, I don't know, to prove something that he's a leader. So it's going to be interesting to see if he shows up there or not. But a lot of fun coming, that's for sure, when it comes to the playoffs, OTAs, the draft. Man, there's a lot of good stuff around the bend. It is fantastic. Today, we're raising money for puppy food banks. We're having a radiothon, and you have a chance to help us, and we wish you would. If you can do it, please do. Go to sasportstar.com. John O'Hurley is here. You might know him from his Seinfeld fame. We've talked to him a couple of times. We'll talk to him again before the end of the show. So Very fascinating guy, but he started this with a friend of his, and just to provide food for some of the shelters to take in these dogs that are either abandoned or whatever the case may be, so they don't have to worry about the food portion of what's going on. So if you go to sasportstar.com, it is a $15 a month charge, which, come on, $15. You're going to spend probably, 5 times that at some bar tonight. So $15, put it on there. You'll forget about it. You won't even know it's there. Go to sasportstar.com. We would really appreciate it. And you'd be helping out a lot of cute little puppies. This is the Blitz here. You notice that I'm solo, except for that beautiful golf bag right there. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. If you're not, trust me, there is a golf bag that Flight by Yingling provided, and it is sitting on the table right there where Jason Minnick's normally sits. And so I feel a little lonely. Edwin's in here. James Pledger's off as well. But I thought, man, that beautiful golf bag would make a nice partner. Nice partner. And so I put it there, and I think Jason's never looked better, quite frankly. He really hasn't. Jason will be back on Monday for the golf tournament. I think he's in Oklahoma. He's going to see, I think, Cross Canadian Ragweed. They got a big deal up there this weekend. I think 3 shows, because I think Pledge was going to go to that, and Rob Thompson was going to go to that. So a lot of sports star guys going up there to see the reunion. I think it's a reunion tour. Anyway, that's where they are, and so that's why I am flying this plane solo today. But we got a lot to talk about. We'll get you updated on the Masters when we come back, see who's going on there, if anybody's making any news or doing anything solid. I tell you again, I look at the TV, that is just a beautiful place. And some dude shot 90 yesterday. 90! I would celebrate if I shot 90 at the Masters. So happy you guys are with us here and joining us and making us a part of your day on this Friday here on San Antonio Sports Star. We appreciate it. The Blitz, though, it will continue right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-383-7733. That's 800-383-7733.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. Let's do it again and get vaccinated, because we're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com and schedule a vaccine today. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tragically, recent data reveals that 40% of women in Texas will experience intimate partner violence. Christie's Hope is dedicated to breaking the cycle of domestic violence by providing shelter, healing, and counseling, and empowering survivors to take their first steps towards lasting safety and independence. Thomas J. Henry stands with us in our commitment to end domestic violence. Donate today at christieshope.org.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147, 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147, or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Springfest at Lowe's means can't miss savings for your home and lawn. Right now, buy 3 bags, get 3 free on Miracle Grow 3/4 cubic foot all-purpose garden soil. Plus, buy 2, get 1 free on select exterior paint and stain via mail-in rebate. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/16, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. While supplies last, selection varies by location. See rebate form for complete list of eligible products. Offer excludes clearance and mist tints and can't be combined with any other offer, promotion, discount, or coupon.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
All right, let's get you caught up on what's happening in Augusta. It is Justin Rose, the leader. He is done for the day, shot 71. He's in at -8. Bryson DeChambeau is 1 shot back at -7. Rory McIlroy, Corey Connors, Tyrell Hatton, all at -6. And the San Antonio Spurs back in action tonight. They're in Phoenix taking on the Reeling Suns, losers of 8 in a row. Tip-off, 9 o'clock.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Augusta. Do we have to talk in a golf voice? Oh, my goodness. Hi, everybody. It's Friday. You made it. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is off today. This is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. So happy to have you all along. It's been an interesting day, fun day here at the Radio Ranch. And we got a puppy food bank radiothon going on right now. And we'd love for you to participate in that. If you go to sasportstar.com, you can make your donation there. Help out a bunch of puppies. We'll talk more about that coming up. You might notice that where my partner Jason normally sits, there is a beautiful golf bag. In the tenor of the Masters, I thought it was appropriate, not to mention the fact that Beer Santa dropped that off today. That's right, Flight by Yingling. It's beautiful. Beautiful bag. And AD on our YouTube channel says that he just bought a new set of clubs, and that would fit well in that bag. Well, AD, I don't know if you're playing in the golf tournament on Monday, but if you're not, you can certainly come out to the Hangar Bar, and that's our after party, and they're going to be giving one of those away there. So All you got to do is come out, have free beer, hang out with us, and there'll be some kind of contest to do that. If you're in the golf tournament, there's a putting contest that you can do, and the best putter is going to win a bag. Plus, it's going to – look, if you're in the golf tournament on Monday out at the Golf Club of Texas, it's going to be a lot of fun. Beer Santa's already said he's going to be driving around in his sleigh, handing out beer and swag and all kinds of stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of our other gracious sponsors are going to be out there, and all of them will be set up and be giving stuff away, and there'll be a lot of scenery out there, if you know what I mean. It's going to be a lot of fun. But again, if you're not, you don't have to be in the golf tournament to participate in our post-game party, if you will, and that is at the Hangar Bar. So come on out and see us. There'll be beer out there flowing. There will be prizes to be had and all of that kind of stuff. So come on out and see us on Monday. It's going to be a fun day. There is no question about it. Again, I've been just fascinated with what's going on at the Masters. Nobody's really making a run at this thing, but it is a very difficult golf course. Justin Rose had a hell of a day yesterday. Today, not bad, 1 under par. Bryson DeChambeau and Rory McIlroy, the two guys that really have played the best. McIlroy, the best, 6 under par round of 66 today. DeChambeau, -4. He shot a 68 today. He was actually better than that for a while. Well, there he is. So he kind of leveled off as he finished, but still just one shot back. And you got a lot of big names that are still right there. Jason Day at -5. Scotty Scheffler in at -5. Actually, both of those guys are still out on the golf course, so anything can happen. Let's see. Xander Schauffele, he shot a 69 today, so he's at -2. And again, I'm watching my guy Jordan Spieth. And this guy, I tell you what, he's playing okay. 1 under par today, even par for the tournament. Most likely, unless he just implodes as he comes in, he's going to make the cut, which is good. But if you were here on Wednesday, I told you that I made a little wager on Jordan because the odds were so high. I figured, what the heck, right? It was plus 4,800 for Jordan Spieth. And if you're familiar with gambling and you know what that is, I mean, if you put up $100 and he wins, you win $4,800. Well, I didn't want to go that far because my confidence level in Jordan Spieth is not all that great. But I like the guy. I've always been a fan of his. Back when he had the great year in, what was it, 2017? So I thought, well, he had wrist surgery, right? He had wrist surgery, and he's coming back playing well. He's playing okay, but it doesn't look like he's going to win this tournament. So that's $25 down the drain. But, what are you going to do? It'd be okay. So the $25 I bet, by the way, had I won, I'd win $1,200. I think you put up $2,500 or $25 to win $1,200. That's pretty good odds, isn't it? It's not bad. You'd do that, Edwin, wouldn't you?
Sure.
Yeah, Edwin Hafner, by the way, is pushing the buttons today and living in the glass box of fun. James Pledger is also off today. These guys just left us all alone, Edwin, completely. But it's okay. It's all right. It's been a fun day. I hope you guys are having a great day out there. I saw something today that I found fascinating, and it really baffled me. And it wasn't just today. I've seen it the last couple of days coming in. And a lot of you on our YouTube channel kind of explained it to me. But I thought, well, I want to ask this guy. And I see a lot of you guys, you like the ganja, the weed. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But there's a dude with a sign, and he's walking up and down the Austin Highway. I think he's right in front of a CBD shop, one of those places like that. And it says, if you're 21 or over, free weed. Now, when you see that, that's kind of, I don't know, I'm not expecting that. I had never seen it before. But I never had the stones to pull over and ask him about it. Now, some of you on our YouTube channel explained it to me. If you go in, I guess, and sign up for some membership or register or whatever it is, they will give you something that resembles pot. And I don't know how they do it or how they get away with it. Maybe it's the same way they get away with having slot machines at every convenience store in town now. Same loopholes, I guess. We can't have legalized gambling, but we have loopholes all over the place where we can have slot machines all over the place. And you can stop in there and spend your money and win money and all of those things. So, and just about every bar you go to now, or a lot of them, man, there's slot machines all over the place. And they're a lot of fun to play. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, Edwin Hafner's pulled this thing up, and there's the dude. There's the sign. It says free weed, 21 and up. Now, this that you sent me, I think is fascinating. Pull that down a little bit, Edwin, will you, so I can read the headline? Other way. There you go. I don't know what's going on. And I don't know, this is not a political statement, so don't take it as that, because I have my own views, and I know you have your own views, but it's apparently with signs like this, the Republicans in the Texas House are going to try and do something. It says, go back to the other one, Edwin, the headline. There it is. The Texas GOP says it's time to limit hemp that gets you high. The industry wants regulation. I don't know how you feel about that. It pisses me off. Truth be told, I don't smoke pot. But I know a lot of people that do, and I have no problem with it. It's fine. And that's what they do. It's like I enjoy having a cocktail. And that's what I do. I don't care what you do. It makes no difference to me. But I don't understand why Republicans want to limit everything. I don't get it. It just baffles me. No gambling, and now, well, we don't want hemp to get you high. I don't get it. It is 2025, is it not? It's 2025. I'm going to go on a rant. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to go on a rant. You can't legislate stuff like this. People are going to do it anyway. And if you can't buy it there, legal hemp, you're gonna have a drug dealer around the corner. If you can't gamble legally, guess what? You can gamble illegally. Or you can walk into any convenience store you want and play the slot machines. Either way, people are going to find a way to do it. I just don't understand politicians sometimes. I really don't understand them at all. It bothers me. Let the people decide what they want to do. If it was on the ballot, you want to legalize marijuana, put it on the ballot and let the people decide. You want to legalize gambling, put it on the ballot and let the people decide. I don't see what the problem is other than these politicians are afraid if they do that, it would be approved and it would be voted in. It's the only thing I can think of. And it just pisses me off. It didn't make you mad. Can we just have democracy? Right? That's what the politicians are famous for saying, democracy. Let the people decide. That's all we want. That's all we want. I hope that you decide to go to sasportstar.com and make a donation to our Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. John O'Hurley is here today, and he's been fascinating. It's been a fascinating conversation with him. We're going to have another one with him coming up here in just a moment. But you can donate. It's $15 a month, and if you just go to sasportstar.com and do that, we would appreciate it. And I know that the nice little puppies out there would appreciate it as well. Now, look, I don't know if this is going to happen because our boss is afraid that there might be an accident. But I understand there are puppies in this building. I'm trying to get one in here for the next segment with John O'Hurley. So if you're near your computer or you can get on YouTube, you might want to log in and get that done. And you might see a nice, pretty little puppy. All right, John O'Hurley's going to join us next. We'll talk to him about who knows what. Puppy food drives. We'll talk about acting, game shows, I don't know. See what he's into when he's not doing that and doing all that work. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. He's got his entire spring line on display right now in that massive showroom. So if you need your logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, any kind of light shirt, T-shirt, screen printed, go see Sam. He'll get you taken care of. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps, the Katie caps, Nike, Cap America, to name a few. Sam has all the big name brands, over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small. All items do come with a warranty. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
Guys over 40, tired of low energy, just not feeling like yourself? Testosterone replacement therapy by Synergenics is the answer. Don't waste time waiting for online services when you can start today. Treatment is tailor-made just for you, and it is covered by most major insurance. Visit one of their conveniently located clinics, see a medical provider, and feel great today. During April, the consultation is free. Why wait when you can be seen now? Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Feel like you again. Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. You can with Orchard. Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Orchard puts cash right into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday one. You buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday two. Start with your free home valuation at orchard.com or call 1-844-421-SELL. That's 1-844-421-SELL. 1-844-421-SELL.
Testing.
We're live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken filet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the Mac, one of the all-time greats. Man, I'm getting hungry.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-383-7733. That's 800-383-7733.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, but I've got a better partner in here in the studio right now. John O'Hurley is joining us because we're having a big radiothon for the Puppy Food Bank. And Mr. O'Hurley is, a very important part of feeding puppies that are in shelters.
Part of the inception of this some years back, about 2022, we began this, and it's been extraordinarily successful. It's ever-growing, but the need is never stopping, unfortunately, because we have more and more and more dogs that end up in the shelters right now. And it is part of it is because of the I want to say, I'll use the word irresponsibility of some people when they come to adopt a dog. They don't realize that the relationship is a forever relationship.
Sure.
And so many of these dogs end up back on the shelter steps, and they've got to feed them somehow.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate how some of these dogs are treated like that, and I get things happen, but boy, I tell you what, it is a big responsibility. Not to get on a soapbox, but I tell my kids that. Oh, I want a puppy. And I'm like, well, make sure that you can take care of that puppy.
This isn't something your mother and I are going to take
exactly
care of.
Right.
You've got, and also it's a wonderful learning experience for a child to take care of a dog, to be responsible for their walking schedule, to be responsible for their feeding schedule. You're teaching a child so much when you are giving them something like that. And, of course, the dog and the bond between the child and the dog goes ever stronger.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible. I mean, I grew up, we always had dogs, and most of my friends had dogs. So it's fantastic. And that's why I love this puppy food bank drive, because I don't think people in general think about the needs and the expense that some of these shelters that incur, and especially in food.
Well, it isn't. Yeah, I mean, it isn't just food, but there's a lot of money goes into their medical care, goes into socialization skills, training. What they are trying to do is to make these dogs ready to be moved to forever homes, so that the people that are adopting them have a dog that is socialized and is house trained and has been well fed and well taken care of by veterinarians.
And it's affordable, y'all. If you go to sasportstar.com, you donate $15 a month. You're going to help out a lot of dogs. And as we talked about before, most of that money stays right here in this area.
It does indeed. And I will tell you, over the 10 years, or over the 3 years that we've been doing this, over 500,000 pounds of food has been distributed. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
It's an amazing number when you want to talk about a growing success and an ever-growing success, but as I say, one that doesn't stop needing.
Absolutely. I mean, dogs eat, right? Just like we
they
do
come in
every
the door.
day.
And these are no-kill shelters. You know, when the dog comes in, it's not going to face euthanasia. They will find a way to keep that dog alive.
And this is a big part of it and a big help to all of those shelters that do that until hopefully the dog can be adopted by a nice family. So it's good. John O'Hurley is joining us now, and I know everybody out there listening knows who John O'Hurley is because, well, Seinfeld fame first and foremost, and I know a lot of people do that. But I've got to ask you a question because you've been on Broadway. What in the world is that like?
It is the greatest job in the world. I've done over 5,000 performances as Billy Flynn in the musical Chicago on Broadway. And, you know, it's just nice to know that it's 7:30 at night. I have a place to go. I slap on my tux. I look like the maitre d' at Fleming's Steakhouse. But I walk on stage at 8 o'clock, and I'm there till 10:30, and I know a secret that the audience doesn't. and that is that they're going to be standing on their feet, screaming and cheering by 10:30 at night, and I've never been wrong. And by 10:45, I am now seated in my favorite restaurant having a nice meal, and it's a wonderful lifestyle. It just is entertaining. It's the joy I found from doing a play in the basement for my parents when I was 3, 4, 5 years old. I've never lost. It's still just as much fun every time I walk on a Broadway stage.
Now, you've done movies. Obviously, you've done TV. And I hear other actors say that there's nothing like performing on stage.
Well, there isn't. And there's nothing more demanding than that, because you can't, it's like once the conductor drops the baton, it's showtime. You can't roll the ball back up the hill. And although I will tell you a funny sports story. I am a Red Sox fan diehard and a Celtics fan diehard. And so I'm always backstage watching the game with the sound down. And when I'm ready to go on, I'm ready to go on. The actor is ready. And one night I put my phone in my tuxedo inside shirt. Well, sure enough, I don't know what I did, but I hit a button. And I'm out there on stage, and the entire audience is listening to the Red Sox game. And you can't get your hand in there quick enough or discreetly enough. But now we got to listen to the Red Sox game.
Well, I appreciate your passion for Boston sports, and you're from there, right? I mean, so I get it.
Well,
but,
New England, yeah.
Well,
my footprints are all over New England.
We don't really like Boston sports here in San Antonio.
I would imagine not.
Although we like that Derek White kid that plays for the Celtics. He was a former Spur. He's fantastic.
Isn't he something? He's been such a wonderful addition to the Celtics. He does everything. And where can you get a guy that is not that tall, that is leading the league for point guards in rebounding? I mean, it's just unbelievable.
It's just what he does. We hated to lose him here, but it was rebuilding time, and some guys got to go, and that's the way that it is, and it's worked out. But we're hoping to get back to that title contention sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate. I've gotten to cover all of them for San Antonio, and so it's.
Well, you've had some wonderful talent. Some wonderful names have come through this town. Some wonderful athletes have come.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. But Boston's cool. We were in Boston for the Army-Navy game a couple of years ago.
Oh, it was fun.
At Foxborough. It was a blast, yeah.
It's such
a lot of fun.
Such history for that game.
Yeah, it was my first time in Boston, and it was just fantastic. Love that city.
It's a fabulous city.
Yeah.
It really is, and everybody should, in the same way that you look to San Antonio being such a bastion of history with the Alamo and what have you, in the way that the southern states or the southwestern states were formed. New England really is the cradle of democracy. It really was, and you can see all of the places that, up on Concord Hill and Lexington and all these wonderful places. There, you can see where all of this stuff happened back in 1776. It's really, it's an amazing journey that I think everybody should take.
It was a fascinating town. There's no doubt about it. I want to go back when I'm not working and can go look around and have some fun. So looking forward to that. John O'Hurley is joining us here on the Blitz because we're having a Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, and we'd love for you to participate in that Radiothon and raising money for the Puppy Food Bank. If you go to sasportstar.com, you can do that. $15 a month, and that's all it is.
That's all it is.
That's it.
It's a bottle of wine.
That's it.
It's a bottle of cheap wine, actually.
Cheap wine, yes.
The way wine goes now today. We can do without, and you'll know that you've done something good. And every month that $15 you won't miss, and it will be doing something wonderful for the dogs.
No doubt about it. And I understand the generosity of some of the folks like the PM Group. If you make a donation, they're going to double it.
They're going to match it. This is This is a perfect time to give, because during this hour they're going to match every dollar that is raised. So
that's fantastic.
You want to make your dollar become two instantly.
Yeah, so we appreciate the PM Group and their generosity for doing that. And, of course, all of you out there listening as well, your generosity. Again, sasportstar.com. Go there, and you can donate, and it will just be fantastic. We've talked about your career. We've talked about the things that you did. And it fascinates me because it has to be a dream come true for you. I can't imagine what you thought as a kid or how you got to where you are and all the things that you've done?
It was just about connecting the dots. When I was 3 years old and I was living in Kittery, Maine, my earliest memories were of large people standing over me saying, all asking the same question, John, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yep.
And that's what I got all the time. Now, mind you, I was still soiling diapers at the rate of 6 a day. I don't know if I had a concrete career objective, but I thought, well, maybe they were just asking me because they were looking for a better idea for themselves. But honestly, with a sense of disgust that only a 3-year-old can muster, I would put my hands on my hips. I would point to the black and white TV in the corner of the living room, and I would say, well, I am an actor, so that's what I'm going to be. And it's not that I wanted to be one, it's that I knew I was one. And I would point to the Romper Room and Captain Kangaroo, the Mouseketeer Club, all these early shows back in the late 50s, and I knew I was supposed to be there. And I just had to connect the dots. So my entire life was just about connecting the dots.
That's fantastic. And I'm assuming your parents were supportive of that?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. No, my father was a surgeon, and my mother was in love with a surgeon. It was, she knew all my mother knew of Hollywood was what she read in the Enquirer, the National Enquirer, and it was never good. It was always some kind of gossip that was going on, and she was saying, "Why you can't be in that business?" So that's not, it's like, yeah, but yet she would read it, But it was what I wanted to do with my life, and I hung true. And it's the type of business that is so subjective and so difficult. The statistics are ridiculous. One person in 100 actually makes a reasonable living, and so if you're lucky enough to be in that 1%, then you've done fairly well. And for me, I happened to be pretty lucky.
You've done fairly well, and very talented individual. And you're giving back with this puppy food bank and the radiothon that we're having, sasportstar.com. Again, the PM group is matching any donation that you make.
2 for 1 this hour.
2 for 1 this hour. So it's a great time to go to sasportstar.com and make that donation, help out a bunch of puppies. And great talking to you. It's fascinating visiting with you. John O'Hurley.
As always. Thank you.
Thank you so much. When we come back, DeMarvion Overshown, Dallas Cowboys linebacker, we've got an update on when he might be back. We'll talk about that when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2Fi Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th.
Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
A sort of accident-prone bride. What's the deal?
I was just kind of like blacking out. I don't even know how to explain it, but...
Some lucky guy's going to marry her.
Oh my God,
I just threw up.
The 60 seconds that she was out was everybody else's favorite part of that wedding.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
Oh, it's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Build monthly.
Rocks Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rocks the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rocks has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the in-body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rocks know their products, how they work, and what's best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence. Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Texas coastal waterfront properties starting at only $49.9?
That's right. Driftwood Acres at Wolf Point, located on the highly sought-after Matagorda Bay, is extending their grand opening for one day. Tomorrow, book your private tour to see 1 to 3 acre properties, all with bay access, starting at just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. This gated waterfront community features panoramic views, world-class fishing, resort-style pool and cabana, community fishing pier, boat and RV storage, and so much more. It's happening Saturday, April 12th, one day only. Coastal waterfront properties starting at an unbelievable $49.9. Just $49.9. Call to book your private tour or for information for tomorrow. 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Appointments are limited, so call now. 210-853-0389. Texas waterfront properties will never be more affordable. 210-853-0389.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyer4us.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat a billion-dollar insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do, help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community win and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, a billion-dollar insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyer4us.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G2Fi Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, Friday, April 11th.
This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, he's off today. James Pledger is off today. Edwin Hafner is making the show run, pushing the buttons, playing that great music, the little techno stuff going on there, huh, Edwin?
Yeah, you didn't play Techno Bowl?
Is that techno-ish?
Yeah, the video game.
Oh, I don't play that, no. Do you?
Well, it was before my time.
Wait a minute. So what are you saying? I should have played it because I'm old or
what? It was in the 90s, yeah.
Oh, well, I was just a kid in the 90s. Kidding me?
I was born in the 90s.
Yeah, well, okay. That's enough of that. Good to see you, Edwin.
Good to see you, too.
That is. It's good to see you, Edwin. I didn't see Edwin because he's in with those morning dudes, Rob and AJ in the mornings, and Vic. So there you go. It's kind of nice to sleep in today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been a while. Yeah.
So you got to sleep. You didn't have to pull double duty today.
No.
Okay.
Vic had that taken care of.
Well, that's good. Good. Yeah, that getting up. What time do you get up in the mornings, Edwin?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. And what time do you have to be here?
I mean, there's no set time, but I like to get here around 4:30 or something.
Holy cow! 3 o'clock in the morning. That's just not even. That just doesn't even sound, in the remotest possibility, a lot of fun. But you do you, Edwin. Because you work like 7 days a week, don't you?
Well, I usually have 2 days. I mean, I have Tuesday and Wednesday off.
Okay.
Sometimes I have to work more, but yeah.
All right, I got you. All right, Edwin Hafner, ladies and gentlemen. Hardest working man in show business, no doubt about it. But, yeah, Minix and Pledge are off today, so I wanted to fill in, have somebody sitting over there. So we got a nice little Flight by Yingling golf bag that you can win if you're coming out to the golf tournament on Monday. That's when it is. Wow, Monday is the golf tournament out at the Golf Club of Texas. We've been talking about this thing for a long time. The tournament's been sold out for a couple of weeks now. But if you were fortunate enough to get a team in the golf tournament, congratulations. But you have a chance to win that golf bag right there. There's going to be a little putting contest that the folks at Flight by Yingling are going to put on. So as soon as you get out to the Golf Club of Texas on Monday morning, the tournament or the putting contest is going to take place at 8 o'clock. It's going to start then. So you can go over there and putt, and hopefully you will be the winner of that bag. But don't fret. If you're not in the golf tournament, and you come out to the after party at the Hangar Bar there on Petrenko Road, you can win a golf bag that looks just like that one. Don't know how they're going to do it, but Beer Santa will be out there, so he will have the contest ready to go. He'll have plenty of cold Flight by Yingling, you know that. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. Minix and I will do the show out there from 2 to 6. You can come heckle us if you'd like, in person. Come out there and have some fun with us. The Hangar Bar on Petrenko Road after the golf tournament. We start at 2 o'clock, as you know. And so come on out and have some fun with us on a Monday. Make a Monday go by a little bit faster. And as we've been talking about quite a bit, we are having a Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Go to sasportstar.com, and if you do that this hour, the fine folks at the PM Group will match your donation. So $15 a month. And you're going to help out a lot of puppies that need the help and need some food and all of that stuff. So sasportstar.com, go there, and the folks at the PM Group this hour are matching that donation. We also need to thank Roundtable Pizza of San Antonio for catering the food for this year's Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Thank you to the folks at Roundtable Pizza. We appreciate you guys and what you do. Fabulous pizza, by the way. Roundtable Pizza. If you haven't tried it, you need to. It is outstanding pizza. DeMarvion Overshown, Dallas Cowboys linebacker. We have been talking a lot about him because he finally convinced Jerry Jones to allow him to wear the number 0. Now, if you remember, when he played at the University of Texas, he wore 0 and called himself Agent 0. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not a big fan of the number 0 for anybody. It's a 0. To me, I always associated a 0 with losing, right? You were shut out. You didn't score any points. You're a loser. Well, DeMarvion Overshown is certainly not that. But he wants to wear number 0, and he convinced Jerry Jones to do that. The question becomes now, Is he going to play this year? Everybody, I think, thought it was a foregone conclusion that he would. But if you guys remember back, this guy had a horrible knee injury. Every tendon and CL and whatever in that knee was destroyed, was blown up, pow, gone. So he's going through it again, and this is his second injury. So he's been through the rehab process before, and now he's going through it again. And a lot of folks thought he wouldn't come back at all this year. The recovery process would be throughout the 2025 season. He thinks he can get back. In fact, he told Kay Adams on Up and Adams, her show, that he hopes to be the comeback player of the year in 2025. We got to play in 2025, but by all accounts, there was an update today that said DeMarvion Overshown is progressing. He's doing well, and there's a very real shot that he could be back, say, mid-November, which is about halfway through the season or so, right? So if the Cowboys got him back then and he was ready to go, and it would be a big help for the stretch run if they're still involved and have a chance when it gets to that point. But he also said something else to Kay Adams on her show that may give us some insight in what's going to happen with Micah Parsons. And I say that because, look, I'm convinced, although I thought it'd be a good idea to try to move the guy, to trade him away, to get some draft picks, to do something and improve this team sooner rather than later. I know Micah Parsons is a hell of a player. I know he's one of those guys that Cowboy fans are in love with. I get all of that. I don't think it's going to happen, although I think they should have at least kicked the tires. And maybe Jerry Jones did. I'm not sure. But when you listen to DeMarvion Overshown talk about Micah Parsons, it sounds like they've already kind of figured out that they're both going to be Cowboys for life.
Look, I plan on playing with Micah for years to come. We both want the same thing, the retired Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And, I don't think, especially on this team, like, we know what we got in Micah Parsons, and we don't want to see him in another uniform. So, best believe every chance I get, I'm talking about our future together. Keep that mind, keep that thought running through his mind. Like, hey, we doing this for the long run. We got some ships to win here. So, I'm putting it in there.
All right. Well, we'll see if that matters. I think Jerry putting a dollar figure in his ear might do a little more, but you never know. But it sounds like they've talked about it. And I know Micah has said it before. He wants to be a Cowboy. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. But, it is the NFL, and sometimes that's the business. I can't see a scenario where Micah Parsons is traded. I am just concerned. And I know we talk about this, but when you've got a Dak Prescott and a CeeDee Lamb, and then you add another huge contract in a Micah Parsons, I'm not sure how everybody else is going to get paid. But that's Jerry's problem to figure out, and I know Cowboy fans don't want to lose Micah Parsons. So we'll see when that happens, if it happens, when it happens, which are all the questions. It seems like we go through this every year, right? Another guy needs to get paid, and Jerry, kind of drags his feet along to do that. But we'll see when that happens. I just think DeMarvion Overshown, I love the guy's attitude because two pretty serious injuries that he's faced since he's been in the NFL, and he's ready to come back, and he's ready to play, and he's ready to do something and win some football games for the Dallas Cowboys. We'll see what happens. Houston Texans made a move today. Jalen Petrie agreed to a 3-year, $39 million extension. That's a good thing. I love what the Houston Texans are doing. They're revamping their entire offensive line. I think you'll see them draft some offensive linemen as well, just because they need to. But they've added some pieces. They've let go of some pieces. So Jalen Petrie, a big piece of that defense. I don't think there's any question about that. But he gets an extension today, 3 years, $39 million. $30 million of that, by the way, is guaranteed. The best story of the day that I saw today, though, is Joe Flacco is back with Cleveland. And that kind of sets in motion a lot of different things. And I want to know what you guys think about this, too. If you're on YouTube, you can comment there. On Twitter at Joe Reinagle210. You can call us at 656-3776. Joe Flacco, a 1-year deal with the Cleveland Browns, $3 million of that is guaranteed. Guaranteed $3 million. He could make up to $6, $7, $8 million with incentives, depending on what happens. Now, the Browns have Kenny Pickett. Now they have Joe Flacco. Does that mean that they're not going to draft a quarterback? Now, keep in mind, Joe Flacco's not a long-term solution. Kenny Pickett, I guess, could be. But obviously the Browns don't have a lot of faith in him, or they wouldn't have brought in Joe Flacco, because I don't think Joe Flacco is going to be the backup to Kenny Pickett. Will they draft Shedeur Sanders with that number 2 pick? I don't think so now. I think they're going to wait. I don't think anybody in this draft, maybe the Titans are the difference because Cam Ward is there and they like Cam Ward and they're most likely going to draft him. But I don't think anybody thinks this is a great quarterback draft. And so to draft a guy high like that is kind of a crapshoot, to be honest with you, right? So I don't know if Shedeur Sanders is going to go at number 2. I don't know if he'll go at number 3 to the Giants. Certainly he's not going to go 4 to the New England Patriots. And then you move on down the line, the Raiders. That was a stop that a lot of people had predicted, but hey, they just signed Geno Smith. So they don't really need a quarterback right now. The New Orleans Saints have been the team that has been most brought up when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. They have the number 9 pick in this year's draft. Just saw something a minute ago that David Carr is still battling with that shoulder injury, and that may make a difference. And keep in mind, you still got Kirk Cousins out there, who I think could be had if he wants to be had. He does have a no-trade clause with the Atlanta Falcons. So if he wants to be had, I think somebody could do it, depending on what the offer is and what the Atlanta Falcons want. Pittsburgh still needs a quarterback. That bum, Aaron Rodgers, still hasn't made a decision yet. So I don't know when he's going to or if he's going to. Maybe he decides to retire, please. And we'll see what happens with Aaron Rodgers. But there's a lot of question marks, especially when you bring in a guy like Joe Flacco to the Cleveland Browns, and it may change things. I think this draft is going to be fascinating. I think it's going to be absolutely fascinating because I don't know what's going to happen. Other than Cam Ward at number 1, after that, I don't think there's any question or anybody's guess. I think it was John McClain yesterday when he joined us on the Blitz here that the draft starts with that number 2 pick. Where's it going to go? You got Abdul Carter. You got Travis Hunter. There's some good players that are not quarterbacks, obviously, but can make a difference. And if the Cleveland Browns were to go with an Abdul Carter, can you imagine Myles Garrett on one side, Carter on the other? If Carter pans out at all, which most people think that he will, boy, that's going to give quarterbacks nightmares, any team that plays the Cleveland Browns. It's going to be a fascinating draft. I don't think there's any question about it. And we're talking about the draft. We talk about the NFL quite a bit because it's a monster. It is. And today, headline, NFL targeting mid-May for schedule release. And I'm like, wow. And I thought, wow, that's exciting. I'm glad. I can't wait to see the schedule. What other sport do you do that? I don't know of any others. What other sport do you do that? I guess I get excited. I want to see who the Spurs are going to open with and who they're going to play and when they're going to do that. And I'll get more excited about that if they do what I hope they're going to do this offseason and really be aggressive. You know what I mean? Really be aggressive and go out and find some players and add to the core that they have in Castle, Wemby, and De'Aaron Fox. It's going to be interesting. It's so many things coming up. So many things. The draft, you got OTAs next week. You got the draft lottery that's going to happen on May the 12th. So many things happening, and I'm here for it, and I can't wait. I really can't wait. What do you guys think? Y'all get geeked up for this? This is what I do for a living. But the fact of the matter is, if I didn't, I'd still be geeked up about it. I'd still be arguing with you at the bar. I'd still be telling you you're wrong. I'd still be saying Dak Prescott needs to go. I mean, come on. I just get to do it and get paid for it. It's a great country. It really is a great country. And today we're asking for your help. We are having a Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. You can go to sasportstar.com. You still have a few more minutes, about 6 minutes or so, to go and get that donation matched. So if you go to sasportstar.com, $15 a month, that's what they're asking for. You put that on a credit card, and you'll probably forget about it. But the PM group is matching donations this hour. They start at 4 o'clock. They're going to end at 5. So there you go. It's a good opportunity to go there now and have your donation matched, doubled, right? So instead of giving $15 a month, all of a sudden you're giving $30 a month because of the fine folks at the PM group. If you can help us, seriously, we really do need your help. John O'Hurley's been talking with us all afternoon. He's on the other stations as well on KTSA, and it's outstanding. So really fascinating conversation that I've had with this guy all day today. It's been a lot of fun. But if you can help us, if you feel in your heart that you can go and do that and donate $15 a month, we would certainly appreciate it. That's for sure. When we come back, we'll update the Masters. We'll see what's going on up there, see if anything crazy is happening. And then, we'll get into a little basketball, a little NBA action, a little playoff preview, because the West is simply, it's out of control. I mean, let's face it. It is simply out of control. We'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First of all, though, I want to talk to you about the Golf Club of Texas. Yeah, the Golf Club of Texas, we're all going to be out there on Monday. If you're in the golf tournament, you'll be out there on Monday. And if you haven't been out there for a while, you're going to be just pleasantly surprised at the improvements that they have made to that golf course. It is incredible what they've done out there, from brand new golf cart paths all over the golf course to zero scaping to new sod that's been laid down. It's in fantastic shape, and we knew it would be. And I can't wait for all of you to see it. It is fantastic. In fact, you go out there and you get on that golf course, you're going to think you're at a private club, a country club, if you will, but you're not. It's a public course. It's open to the public 7 days a week, and some of the nicest folks are out there. The service is incredible. They're going to make you feel like royalty, and you're going to want to try the 10 Cup Bar and Grill. It's a fantastic place. The food is great. The drinks are flowing. All of that stuff is going on, and it's just great. And you know what the best part about that is? It doesn't cost you an arm and a leg to enjoy a great meal out there. Golf Club of Texas is just a great place, and you know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road, off Highway 90. And whether you're headed out there for dinner at the 10 Cup or around with your buddies, your next tournament, like our next tournament on Monday, this is the Golf Club of Texas. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and sasportstar.com.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
That guy pulled out in front of me out of nowhere. The police are on their way, but I'm really shaken up.
Don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. You made the right call.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck, call Davis Law Firm at 444-4444. We're ready to help day or night, and there's no fee unless we win.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
You could think you found your dream home online, but here's the twist. The lot next door just got rezoned for years of construction. Work with the expertise and ethical training of a Realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors, right by you.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
oh, it's on...
SmokeyBear.com, with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
George gets justice. The accident wasn't your fault, but now you're facing pain, bills, and uncertainty. You don't have to do it alone at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. They listen, explain your options, and fight for what you deserve. No upfront costs, no stress, just real help when you need it. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/score. Ethos.com/score.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs back at it tonight. They are in Phoenix to take on a Suns team that is reeling. They've lost 8 straight. Tip-off from Phoenix is set for 9 o'clock. Houston Texans locked up one of their own today, signing safety Jalen Petrie. 3-year extension worth $39 million, 30 of which is guaranteed. And the Browns have Joe Flacco back.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Happy Friday, everybody. You've made it. The weekend is in sight. And if you're just getting off right now because it is 5 o'clock, congratulations. Your weekend has begun. I'm happy for you. It's been a great day here on San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix not here. He's off today. James Pledger also taking the day off to celebrate his birthday. Edwin Hafner is in the glass box of fun, and he's pushing the buttons today and playing all that music and all of that kind of stuff. So we appreciate him being here. But if you look over, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. If not, just take my word for it. It is there's a replacement for Jason. It is a nice Flight by Yingling golf bag. And it's beautiful. Jason has never looked better in his entire life than he does right now because, well, that golf bag is beautiful. I appreciate Beer Santa, the leader of the Flight by Yingling crew. He brought that by, but he wanted me to show it because, well, you have a chance to win that thing. Can you imagine tooling around the golf course the next time and that with a bag like that? It would be pretty cool, I would think. I don't think there's any question about it. In fact, I hope that thing makes it to the golf tournament on Monday, if you know what I mean. It's pretty nice, and I think my clubs would look pretty good in that thing. But if you're in the golf tournament on Monday out at the Golf Club of Texas, you got a chance to win that thing. There's a putting contest. It's going to begin about 8 o'clock Monday morning, and the winner will walk away with that nice Flight by Yingling bag. Not only that, Beer Santa's going to be there in person, and he's going to be driving his sleigh around the golf course there, handing out I'm sure he's going to hand out some cold Flight by Yinglings. I'm sure he's going to have some other swag that he's going to to be giving away out there. So if you're in the golf tournament, you got, first of it, just to meet Beer Santa, for goodness sake. That's worth the price of admission. But then after that, and when he gives you stuff, you're going to like him even more. So if you're in the tournament, congratulations. You will get that opportunity. If you are not in the tournament, it's okay. You'll still have an opportunity to win one of those golf bags. If you go out to the post-game party, post-tournament party out at the Hangar Bar right there off Petrenko Road, you're going to have they'll have another one of these, and they'll give you the opportunity to win that. Not sure how Beer Santa is going to do that, but he will have some kind of fun and hijinks, I'm sure, and it'll be nice. So you can walk away with that golf bag. And I tell you what, it is fantastic. You know, I can't compete in that thing, although I might just putt and give you guys something to look at, and so you know if you'll come in second. But that's okay. You'll still get the bag because I can't win it. So a lot of fun on Monday. It is going to be a lot of fun on Monday. So, again, if you're not in the golf tournament, come on out to the Hangar Bar with us. Off Petrenko Road, come on out there and have some fun with us. Have some cold beer, and they got great food out there at the Hangar Bar as well. So, and there's going to be a lot of other prizes. Some Kanga coolers are going to be out there. It's just going to be a lot of fun. So make plans. Monday's going to be a really fun day, and I'm looking forward to that. No question about it. Today, we're having some fun as well because we're raising money for the Puppy Food Bank. Having a radiothon here at the radio station, and you can donate. You can help us out and help raise money for the Puppy Food Bank. It's amazing when I've had John O'Hurley on, and if you don't know who John O'Hurley is, you do. You may not know the name, but I know you know him. If you watch Seinfeld any at all, he was on Dancing with the Stars back a few years ago. The guy's an actor. He's been in movies all over the place. He does Broadway plays. He hosted Family Feud for a while. So he's done a lot of things in his life, a lot of cool stuff. So you know who he is, even if you don't recognize the name, you know exactly who he is. So he's been fun. He's been walking around the radio station doing interviews with me, with the folks at KTSA, and some others. So he really started this whole thing. And so he's trying to raise money, and they're trying to raise money. So the puppies and dogs that are in animal shelters, they don't have to worry about food, and that's the main thing because they got a lot of other things to worry about. But if you want to donate, we would appreciate it. Go to sasportstar.com, $15 a month. That's all it is, and you could do that and help out a lot of puppies and dogs and I think some cats too. It doesn't matter. Whatever's in a shelter, you could do that, and we would certainly appreciate it. That's for sure. NBA playoffs are, well, just a few days away. The play-in games are going to take place on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then the playoffs proper will begin shortly thereafter that. I think maybe Thursday or Friday. Not sure of the schedule just yet. It might depend on who gets out of the play-in tournament, which is, I don't know. I'm still trying to get used to that thing and wondering if it means anything. How do you guys feel? Do you like the play-in tournament? Is it exciting to you, or is it not? Or is it just something else that the NBA is trying to do I don't know, to make things more exciting? The All-Star game didn't quite work out too well for those guys. The play-in game, I think people at least tolerate it, if nothing else. I don't know. But the fact that there's going to be playoff basketball happening next week is exciting to me, and I'm excited for that and ready to get that going. When you look at the NBA, it's been a weird year, hasn't it? I mean, and we've experienced it here in San Antonio, obviously. When you look at Greg Popovich and what happened with him, then Wemby with the blood clot. They shut down De'Aaron Fox so he could have surgery on his finger. It's been a very strange year, a year that I think most people going into this year thought that the Spurs had an opportunity to be mentioned in a playoff conversation, especially when they pulled off the deal for De'Aaron Fox. I'm thinking everybody thought, hey, the play-in tournament at the very least is something that we could be shooting for and have some playoff entertainment Spurs-wise this year. So that didn't happen because of what I just mentioned. And I tell you what, it's just been a very strange year. But it's not just with us. It's been a strange year all the way around. When you're talking about the Luka Doncic trade, which was a disaster. I mean, just unbelievable, head scratcher, all of those kinds of things. It's just nutty, right? I mean, just nutty stuff. And then you look at what the Memphis Grizzlies did, firing their head coach. With about a month or so left in the regular season, maybe a little longer than that. And then the Denver Nuggets said, hold my beer. And they fired their head coach with about 4 games left in the season. Not only the head coach, the GM's not coming back. He's gone. It's just been a weird year in the NBA. But you know what I look forward to when you're talking about the playoffs, that's going to make everything right. Because NBA basketball playoff action is, I don't know, some of the best that there is. If I could change anything about it, I would go back to a 5-game series, at least in the first round, and then go from there. 5-game series are a lot of fun. And the not only the excitement, but you're talking about, every game matters. Not that it doesn't in a 7-game season, but let's face it. You're talking about only having to win, 3 out of 5. I mean, it gets pretty tough. And you lose a game, you lose a couple of games on the road, well, you're in real trouble. You got to win 3 in a row. So I don't know. I like the 5-game series. Obviously, the NBA wanted more basketball, and that's why they did what they did. But it's going to be fun. Tuesday, Wednesday is the play-in tournament. Talking about weird, then you've got Ja Morant, right? You got Ja Morant. And this guy got in trouble, obviously, allegedly beating up some kids, whatever story you want to glean out of that, having a gun on Instagram, and then his little gun motion that he does that he got in trouble for this year and fined, but he wasn't suspended. So he said, well, nothing happened. $75,000, that's nothing to me. Now he's got a new celebration. It's a grenade. Have you seen this? It's a grenade celebration. We saw it again last night. Memphis got spanked by Minnesota, by the way. But Ja, he didn't care. He still has his grenade. He made a 3-pointer, and then he's running away. Like he pulls the pin out of the grenade, tosses it into the crowd, and then covers his ears and says, so all truth be told, I don't have too much of a problem with that. I don't know. I mean, I know it shows violence, and maybe you're envisioning people getting blown up. But I don't think that's what he's doing. He just wants something and wants some attention, I think. I think that's it. Because Ja Morant was going to be arguably the face of the league at one time. And that changed when he got into his trouble. That all changed. And so I just think he says, I'm still pretty good. And, hey, I love Ja Morant's game. I love Ja Morant's game. The guy is a talented dude. He is a talented dude who can do some crazy things on the basketball floor. But he's going to get in trouble, and I just wonder what he's thinking. I honestly wonder, does he think that Adam Silver's not going to do anything? I just wonder what he's doing and why he's continuing on with this kind of stuff. It just doesn't make a lot of sense with me. I don't want to watch the playoffs, even though I don't think Memphis has a shot in the playoffs, depending on where they go. But they certainly don't if they don't have a Ja Morant. If he gets suspended, they don't have a prayer. But Morant says he's going to continue the grenade celebration until someone has a problem with it. Interesting. Now, somebody does have a problem with it. Some of the guys were talking about it last night on the TNT postgame show.
He has a history that maybe he shouldn't be doing. Yeah, maybe just leave the celebrations with people might die alone.
You know what they're doing because y'all going to keep talking about it. Pull that pin.
I know one person happy right now. Who's that? Taylor Jenkins ain't got to deal with this crap. He's going to get another job that he deserves. I'm like, I don't have to deal with this immature stuff.
Taylor Jenkins, who the Memphis Grizzlies fired not too long ago, he doesn't have to deal with that. I don't know. Again, I don't have a big problem with it. I always look at things like the NFL, the no fun league. They don't let guys have fun, although they've eased up a little bit. Maybe you go with a Steph Curry, we put you to sleep. Now, that's better, isn't it? Non-violent. It's not guns or grenades. I don't know. Think about it. They're kids, right? They're kids. Kids that are making a lot of money and are extremely talented. But when I saw it, it just didn't bother me that much. I don't know. Maybe it should bother me, especially in this day and time where, there's a lot of violence out there, but it just didn't bother me. Kind of thought it was funny. I don't know. I don't know what John Morant's doing. Having said all of that didn't bother me. If it bothers Adam Silver, that's really all that matters. And that's what John Morant should be thinking about. That's the problem. He needs to do that. It's just baffling at times. There's no doubt about it. Puppy Food Bank, Radiothon, sasportstar.com. If you'd like to donate there, we would appreciate that. We really would. It's to a good cause. And it's all the money, or most of it, stays right here in the San Antonio area. So if you feel, destined, if you feel like you want to donate, we'd like that, and we would appreciate it. sasportstar.com. We've been doing that all day, and it's been a lot of fun, and they've been doing it since, 5 o'clock this morning. So a lot of people have called in, a lot of generosity, a lot of companies are matching. But if you'd like to do that, we would appreciate it. Again, go to sasportstar.com, and you can do that. All right, when we come back, Arch Manning spoke yesterday, and he explains a couple of things that I was kind of curious about, quite honestly, as to why he couldn't beat out Quinn Ewers, or why he didn't, or why Sark didn't play him, and how cool Quinn was about all the attention that Arch got. We'll hear from the Texas Longhorns starting quarterback, Arch Manning, when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
A lot of people argue that the best breed of dog is a lineage called the Rescue. They're right. That's why we're asking San Antonio Sports Star listeners to help no-kill rescue agencies around San Antonio with food that these pups need. They're all good dogs. They just need a chance. The voice of the National Dog Show, John O'Hurley, will join the Sports Star guys all day Friday, April 11th for the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, the Institute for Functional Health, Big State Financial, G-Defy Shoes, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat and AC, Ponderosa Ranch, Mr. W Fireworks, and Fifi and Fido's Pet Boutique. So lend a helping paw during the 2025 Puppy Food Bank Radiothon Friday.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. You can also text BAIL to 474747 or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds 210-225-2121 or online mybestbailbonds.com.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Guys over 40, tired of feeling tired? Testosterone therapy by Synergenics is the answer. This April, the consultation is free. Treatment covered by most major insurance. Don't wait for online meds. Walk into their clinic, see a provider, feel great today. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
If you're looking to up your beer game, Karbach has you covered. From Hopadillo to Crawford Bock to Ziegenbach to their best seller, the Love Street, there's something for everybody in the lineup, and you can find it anywhere. Next time you're out and about, ask your bartender to make it a Karbach.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyer4us.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyer4us.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyer4us.com.
San Antonio is Aggie country. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Well, I got to tell you, it's Friday afternoon. It's 5:20. I've never seen so much activity around this radio station on a Friday afternoon at 5:20. Usually it's a ghost town by now, like crickets. Beep, beep, beep. That was a bad cricket imitation. But you know what I'm talking about, right? There's still a lot of activity out here. Man, it's kind of cool to see on a Friday afternoon. I hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix, he's off today, out at a concert. Imagine that, right? I mean, where else would he be? That's what he's doing, though. He's at some concert in Oklahoma City or somewhere like that. But Edwin and I are taking care of business. Pledge is off as well, celebrating his birthday. So one good thing about working here at Alpha Media, they give you a day that you can take, and it doesn't have to be on your birthday, but you can just slot it in birthday. So that's what Pledge is doing. You just want to take a long weekend, and more power to him. It's good. Our Puppy Food Bank Radiothon continues. You want to go to sasportstar.com. I appreciate Cowboy James on our YouTube page encouraging folks to do that. So thank you for that. Take Cowboy James' advice and go do it. So sasportstar.com, $15 a month is what it takes. Piece of cake, right? $15 a month. And put it on your card. You'll never miss it. You'll never see it. So there you go. We appreciate any donation that you guys want to make. Want to talk a little Texas Longhorn football because Arch Manning, Texas having their spring practice. They're not going to have a spring game, but they are having spring practice, and Arch Manning is the guy. I always wondered why Arch Manning couldn't beat out Quinn Ewers. And I'm not sure if that's fair to Arch Manning, to be honest with you, because I think that was all part of the deal. And I think for whatever reason, Steve Sarkisian wanted to have his veteran quarterback, if you will, lead the Horns into the SEC. Well, now it is Arch's turn. And Arch Manning, after practice yesterday, well, he spoke with the media. And he told us what it was like just kind of waiting his turn.
It was tough. I mean, it's tough in this age, but I hope it pays off. Like I said, there's nowhere else I want to be. I want to be at Texas. I got friends here. Love this place, so I want to be the quarterback of the University of Texas. So sometimes it's worth the wait.
Yeah, I guess so. But there had to be a deal there, didn't there? There had to be a deal where you come in. Because, look, Arch Manning, and if not for the Manning family, this guy could have been in Georgia or Ohio State or Michigan or name a big-time school. You know those schools were calling him. You know they were. But he didn't go. He wanted to be at the University of Texas. But that had to be the deal. All right, Arch, we want you. You're great. You're going to be the next great thing. But keep in mind, we got Quinn Ewers here, and you're going to have to wait your turn. Trust me on this. And I think not only Sark made that deal, but I have to believe that the Manning family did as well, telling him to hold his own. The question is going to be now, yeah, he's the guy. Texas is going to be loaded again. They always are. They're going to have a lot of talent, and they're probably going to be successful again. So what does that do for Arch Manning after this season? If he has the year that everybody hopes he does and thinks that he will, is that it? Is he one and done as the starting quarterback of the Texas Longhorns? Will he go to the NFL draft? There are a lot of NFL teams hoping that that's the case because this year the quarterback in the draft is well, it's less than stellar. Let's just put it that way when it comes to overall talent. You really got two guys, maybe three, that most people are considering as future starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Now, that certainly could change because some of these guys that are going to be drafted in the later rounds could turn out to be stars, a la Tom Brady. That could be. But I just wonder what Arch is going to do and why. Will he stick around? It's a good question, I think, because who knows, right? Well, not only did Arch wait his turn behind Quinn, he paid Quinn one hell of a compliment.
He's just been so good to me over the years. It's probably pretty annoying having me as the backup, just with all the media stuff, but he handled it like a champ, and he was so good to me along the way.
So good to me along the way. And you have to wonder. I mean, and I'll give Quinn Ewers, and Quinn's a fine quarterback. I'm not sure that he's going to be one that's going to – he's one of the guys I was talking about. I'm not sure he's going to be a quarterback that can lead an NFL team. He may go the same road as a Colt McCoy and be a firm backup and a good backup his whole career. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of how I think of Quinn Ewers. But it had to be a difficult year for him, don't you think? Hearing not only how great Arch Manning is, hearing the crowd, the media, and everybody else say, we want Arch Manning to play, but yet Quinn Ewers had to go in there and play and do it at a high level, hurt and all, hearing all of that stuff. It had to be tough. So I respect Quinn Ewers for that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. There was a mock draft that I read yesterday that had all rounds mocked, predicted. One of them had the Cowboys taking Quinn Ewers with in the sixth round. In the sixth round. Do you think Quinn Ewers is going to fall that far? I mean, that's a long way down the road for Quinn Ewers. 6th round? And if it is the Cowboys that take him in the 6th round, what does that say about him? Because the Cowboys don't need him in the 6th round. They don't need him this year. The Cowboys don't need to draft a quarterback. They just traded for Joe Milton. So drafting a quarterback at this point in time, to me, seems like a waste, even if it is a Quinn Ewers, and a Quinn Ewers is there and available in the 6th round. That's going to be interesting to see, and something else to watch when we get to the draft in a little less now than 2 weeks. Who goes where and what happens and how it affects everybody. It's always a lot of fun, no doubt about it. Puppy Food Bank Radiothon still ongoing, and you can still donate if you see fit to do so. Go to sasportstar.com. $15 a month is what they're asking for. You sign up, you give them your credit card, and they just take it. You'll never miss it. I mean, $15, come on. We spend more than that doing a lot of silly things. This is something you can really help out and help out this community and help out a lot of puppies that really can't take care of themselves. I mean, they can't, right? And as AD on our YouTube page points out, it's a tax deduction too. Truer words have not been spoken. Way to go, AD. Very nicely done. Hey, when we come back, we're going to wrap this thing up, but we'll also have one more visit with, I think, he's a good friend now, in John O'Hurley. He's going to come back. I think we've bonded. I think we've done it. And we may be lifelong friends now for who knows. I'll be going to Broadway, going to movie sets, all that kind of stuff. I may just, who knows? I think we've bonded. I really do. You guys can tell me what you think when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, we'll be live from the golf course in Texas. Get up early. We're going to have some fun.
Yep, we'll be talking about the NFL draft. We'll be talking about NBA playoffs. Talking about who won the Masters. Lots to discuss. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio. Rox Discount Vitamins and More wants to thank God and San Antonio for making Rox, the king of supplements. Are you losing weight, building muscle, or just getting healthy? Rox has you covered. Weight loss and muscle building packages starting at just $75. Plus, get a free in-body scan in 15 seconds with the in-body 270 analysis. Start tracking your results today. The pros at Rox know their products, how they work, and what's best best for your health and fitness goals. Call 210-342-7625 or visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing. Oh, we are back on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is off today, but he's never looked better. We got a nice bag right there, and he looks fantastic. And we've got our, I'm going to say, good friend, John O'Hurley. John, I don't know. I was telling the audience earlier, I think we've bonded.
We have indeed. We've been. How long have we been together? What?
All day.
All day long. That's right.
It's been fantastic. No, and of course, you're here because we've got a Puppy Food Bank Radiothon taking place right now all over the radio station. We are excited to be a part of that. sasportstar.com is where you can go to donate. $15 a month, that's all it takes, and you're going to help out a bunch of
saving
puppies.
a dog's life. You're saving
Absolutely.
a dog life because, remember, all of the largest expenses that any food shelter will go through, or animal shelter will go through, is the cost of food. It is their number one expense, and we are able to provide it free of charge to them through your donations.
That has got to be such a relief to these shelters not to have to worry about that.
You can just imagine the relief that is for. Then they can spend the money on socializing the dog, training the dog, getting the dog ready to be adoptable. Because many of these dogs, come off the streets and what have you.
Yeah, or they're just
and they
abandoned
haven't been socialized.
Yeah,
they haven't been house trained. They haven't been any of the shelter will do all of this, but they need the money to do that.
Sure, they do.
But so they need to be released from the burden of having to say, how are we going to feed these dogs?
Absolutely. And, we were talking earlier about, puppies are one thing, and everybody loves puppies.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get an older dog, and they're already house trained,
mm-hmm.
and you don't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a perk of getting an older dog.
It sure is, yeah. And these dogs, I honestly believe these dogs know that they've been adopted.
Oh, yeah.
These dogs know they've been adopted, and they are so appreciative. We have 2 rescue dogs at home in addition to a purebred, and those dogs are grateful for every day of their life.
It's amazing, and I don't know what I would do without a dog. I've never been without a dog.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes you happy when you go home and they're happy to see you.
It rounds out the edges in an otherwise brittle life. You know what I mean? It's like when life will throw you enough curves, but boy, when you go home and your dog is there, and you are the rock star to that dog. And dogs teach us other things. I've written 3 books on the subject of dogs, and one of the things and the premise of the books are really that everything you need to know in life you learn from your dogs. And one of the things I noticed is that dogs live in the present moment. They don't know the past, they don't know the future, they just know how to live in the present moment, which is the happy place for all of us. Because if you think about it, all of the sources of your stress and my stress are the anxiety about what is to come.
Yeah.
All of the shame that we feel, all of the guilt that we feel comes from living life in the past. But dogs don't have any of that. They don't know guilt. As I say, if a dog just did something on the floor, he's already forgiven himself for it.
Exactly.
It's not a big deal to me. You may want to check with the cat.
Somebody may be upset about
this.
That's
right.
But...
Well, I'm glad you're home. The Russians just pooped in the
exactly.
The Russians just pooped in the hallway. Dogs really teach us about living in the present moment. They live timeless lives.
I find that fascinating as we visit with John O'Hurley. you've written books. You've started along with your partner this puppy food bank. Dogs must really be near and dear to your heart.
Well, they are. I've always had a dog, and at some point in my life, I have healed them, and at some point in my life, they've healed me. I've always had a dog, and they've always been a companion to me when I needed it the most.
Well, that's fantastic. And you live a busy life. There's no question about that, from movies to game shows to television programs. I got to ask you this because I was a big soap opera guy.
Oh,
I was a big All My Children guy.
I was Mr. Daytime back in the 80s.
I know you were. Yes, how was that? That had to be.
Well, it was a lot of fun, and I'll tell you why. Because I got to do things that nobody else got to do. I was the original twin brothers on Daytime.
Oh.
And so I got to be, I got to play both sides of myself, the good person, the good one, and the bad one.
Yeah.
And the bad one, I took my shoes off, so I was about an inch shorter, just to make it really. The actor prepares.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'll tell you want to hear a funny story?
Yeah, I do.
I had to have a body double for me to play twin brothers because they had to shoot over the shoulder of one character to be able to catch the other character. So when I'm playing scenes against myself or having fist fights with myself or whatever, so they needed to find. This was New York. They had to find an extra who would come in and play my body double. So they found one, and he was a bouncer down at a nightclub called the Limelight down in New York City back in the mid '80s and stuff. And so he would come up every day and he'd play my body double, one side or the other. But he was such a terrible actor. Everything that he said was kind of these, thems, and those, and he would talk, which is just kind of I talk like I've got a stick up my ass, and
Yeah.
so he would, so he was talking like this, and so it was just driving me nuts. Finally, I said to the producer, I said, "Would you please tell him not to talk?" I said, "I'll figure out the spacing of the lines so that I can figure it out." I said, "But just have him stand there. That'll be plenty." And so that's fine. And he was a nice enough guy. And this went on for about a year and a half that I played twin brothers. And one day he says to me, "Well, I think to finish with me, I think I'll go back down to my dressing room. I'm working on my play." I said, "You're working on your play?" He says, "Yeah, I've got a play. I'm writing about the stories of my life." And I said, I looked at him and I said, "Well, good for you." I'm going, it was Chaz Palminteri.
Oh.
He was writing Bronx Tale while he was my extra.
That's incredible.
Is that a funny story or what?
That's
my
incredible.
D stems and does was Chaz Palminteri.
Now, when you saw that and that he had written that, did it surprise you?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, did it surprise me? And he was touring it as a one-man show for many years until it gained some footing, and I think it was De Niro that went to him and said, let's put it down, and we'll make a movie of it, and and then they made a musical of it. Chaz just wasn't going to let it go, but I thought, isn't that funny?
That is incredible.
It's a funny story. Yeah.
Well,
you never know who's going to be there.
Right?
You just don't know.
I can imagine, as we visit with John O'Hurley, the people that you have met and had the privilege to work with, or the unpleasantness, however it may be.
I've had some unpleasant ones, but
I'm sure.
But for the most part, pleasant experiences. I've some of the greatest memories I've had have been with the people that I have been able to share the stage with. It's been a joy since I was a kid.
Asking you what's your favorite is probably like asking you who your favorite child is, because I'm sure all of them, have their own. But is there something you like doing better?
Well,
television?
The obvious answer would be Seinfeld. I mean, there really wasn't anything like that. But let me pull Seinfeld aside and tell you that the most enjoyable job I had was for the 3 years that I hosted a show called To Tell the Truth, which was the show based that honored that time-worn phrase, "Will the real so-and-so please stand up?" And you had two liars and someone with the real story there, and you were trying to convince a panel of celebrities that you were actually the person. And so it was a very enjoyable show because I always played along, so I never knew who the real person was, and so I was able to enjoy the show as my celebrity panel was. And we used to do we used to have so much fun. And we had Sergey, what's his name, from Google. He was a panelist on the show just before Google went public.
Okay.
You know, and I'm sitting there looking at the next billionaire, and sure enough, do you know that he fooled everybody?
Did he?
Yeah. Or let me put it this way: the other two people convinced the celebrity panel that they knew more than Sergey did about the internet, and so sure enough, but we had such wonderful people and funny people too. We had such a great panel. So the show was just a joy, and we'd shoot 5 episodes in a day.
Oh wow!
And we'd come back on a Sunday, shoot another 5 episodes. So we had, it's like we didn't have to do it all year long. We did about 14 weekends, and it was just an enjoyable. And because it was my show, I could do whatever I wanted with it. I had a masseuse there. I had doggy daycare. I had baby daycare. I had it was beautifully catered. And at the end of the day, because I collect wine, I would bring a bottle of wine there, and there was a little glass of wine for everybody for the last episode.
Nice.
So we took the. That's the way they did the game shows back in the 50s and the 60s as well. They were all drinking under the table there too. But anyway, it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. I had a good time.
Now, my wife has gotten me into wine, and I really appreciate it and enjoy it. I was never really much of a wine drinker until a few years back, but I enjoy it now. Was that something that you were always into, or did?
It's been something that's been part of my life ever since early college. When people, you know what it was? People looked at me and they said, "Well, John must know about wine." So I'll go. It's like, what they didn't realize, I was buying these $1.98 jugs of Kribari wine. But as time has gone on, I've learned quite a bit about wine, and it is a hobby of mine. I collect wine, and I have what I refer to as a rare wine cellar at home, so named because it's rare that there's any wine left in the cellar. But I do. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's fantastic. So I guess the older I get, the more I appreciate it. And she teaches me about it, and she's got friends that know about it. So I've learned quite a bit.
So what?
Not to your level, but I'm getting there.
Well, you'll get it. Right? We all have our favorites, and that's the only barometer is that it should be something that you enjoy.
Well, I do. That's for sure. We're visiting with John O'Hurley because we are having a Puppy Food Bank Radiothon, and we're asking you guys to help us out. If you can do that, go to sasportstar.com, $15 a month. And you're going to make a big difference in a lot of animals' lives.
Toss a bottle of Cabernet away. We're talking about wine. Don't have one.
Absolutely, and that's not a very expensive bottle of.
That's a pretty bad bottle of
pretty
Cabernet. If you're tossing,
almost a cardboard box in the refrigerator.
If you can afford if it's within your means for $15 a month, that's a wonderful gift. You will keep dogs alive. That's the most important thing right now, is that the shelters are alleviated of the financial burden of having to provide food for this overwhelming run of dogs that they have in their shelters right now.
You've had quite the day, John O'Hurley, and it's been a long day, and you've still got a long way to go. But when you do radiothons and raise money for this, I know you have a golf tournament as well. Do you find, or does it ever surprise you with the generosity of people?
Well, I'm always surprised by the generosity. They never disappoint me.
Yeah.
They never disappoint me. If you just the thing about something like this is you have to ask. People are very generous, but you have to ask them.
Yeah.
No, you can't assume generosity because there are just too many ways to disperse your wealth. But if somebody asks you, people will say, "Okay, it's personal now. I'll do it. I'll do it."
Well, it's fantastic. My background, I was in local TV for 25 years, so I emceed a lot of charity events, and it always amazed me how much money that people are willing to give to help out those that are not as fortunate.
It does. It surprises me too, and people are willing to. I have three golf tournaments of my own, all for different types of charities that I do, and when we do paddle raises, which is really an auction for nothing. You're not auctioning off anything. You're just saying, if you believe in the cause, as we do, raise your hand for, 25,000, 10, 15, 20, whatever it is like that. And you'd be surprised how many people will raise their hand and auction off absolutely nothing. It's just it's from the goodness of their heart.
John O'Hurley is joining us here on the Blitz because we're doing a Puppy Food Bank Radiothon. SASportsStar.com is how you can get involved and donate $15 a month. We would appreciate it very much. I know John would. I would, certainly. You mentioned to me earlier that you're still making movies. And, in fact, you've been pretty busy making movies.
I've done 3 movies since January 1, and I'm about to start a 4th movie this summer that I'll be doing for quite a while, which will be my first horror movie.
Horror movie?
I've never gone into the horror genre at all, but I said, you know what, I would like to do one because I just like to be part of the elemental makeup of a horror movie. And this one's a very interesting one. It's a real psychodrama. And so I'll be doing that. And then I go to Greece in September for another romantic comedy that I'll be shooting over there.
So you're keeping really busy.
You have to stay relevant in this business. It's if for any reason you lose relevancy, it's the day the music dies.
Absolutely. Now, you're not the bad guy in the horror movie, are you?
Oh, I'm not just the bad guy. I'm the really bad guy.
Oh.
Yeah, there's nobody better than me in this movie, I'm telling you. But it's a very psychological approach to evil. And I kind of like that's going to be kind of fun to get into that style of character. He's able to seduce people into doing things that they would not otherwise do.
Oh,
and
wow.
so it's a very interesting, kind of like there's a film out right now that called The Heretic. That why am I blanking on his name? British actor. That anyway is doing it, and it has the feel of that sense of having that sense of the seduction over someone's mind and getting into their head and forcing them to do things that they otherwise wouldn't do.
When I listen to you, and again, we've talked about your unique voice. I love your voice, but I can imagine almost like a Vincent Price style that I could see you being almost that kind of character.
Well, there's a seductiveness to the voice and a musicality to the voice that you really need to have. I mean, this is what this character is all about. So it's going to be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Being in radio, I'd love to have a voice like yours. Can you teach me?
I'm not using it for the rest of the weekend, so you're welcome.
Do you mind?
To it.
I mean, yeah. I appreciate your time so much. We really do. And again, thank you for all you do for the Puppy Food Bank and for entertaining us.
Well, thank you. I enjoy entertainment, and I enjoy being able to give back to the things that are profoundly meaningful to me, and the world of dogs and our kindness towards them is really a sample of who we are as a society. And I think the fact that we can do something like this, and even in whatever means we have, to give back a little bit says a lot about us.
You can do that right now if you'd like. Go to SASportsStar.com. You can donate $15 a month, and it goes a long way. Trust me, just that $15 a month. So you said if you ask, people tend to do it. You want to ask?
Please, we need your help.
Perfect. John O'Hurley, this has been a privilege. Thank you so much.
I've enjoyed it, Joe.
Really
so
appreciate it very much.
Thank you again, my friend.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, a lot of stories, and I could talk to that guy for who knows, a long, long time, but that's for sure. John O'Hurley doing a great thing here, raising money for the Puppy Food Bank, and we appreciate all the help that you guys have been too. You've been fantastic, and we appreciate it. And if you've donated, thank you very much, and just do what you can. That's all you can do, and we'll go from there. Going to wrap things up here. Edwin tells me I got to get out in a couple of minutes, so we'll do that. But appreciate you guys hanging with me today. I know one-man show sometimes in a sports talk radio show is not exactly it's hard to listen to sometimes, but I've had a great time today. Being able to talk to this guy, John O'Hurley, with all the things that he's done. And I'm totally honest with you, I remember him from Seinfeld and a couple of other things, but I had no idea that this guy does as much as he does. It is incredible. Not only this puppy food bank that we're raising money for here today at the radio station, but the movies he's making. He says he's done 4 since last January. Can't wait to see him, especially the horror one he just talked about. That's going to be a lot of fun. Fascinating guy. Very fascinating guy. And so that was a lot of fun. All right, Monday's going to be a lot of fun, too. Jason will be back on Monday. We're going to be doing the show out at the Hangar Bar. It's right there off Petrenko. So come on out there, whether you're playing in the golf tournament or not, you can come out there and have a good time. And if you're watching on YouTube, even if you're not, I have got a beautiful Flight by Yingling golf bag to my right. And you will have a chance, if you come out to the Hangar Bar on Monday for the post-golf tournament party, you'll have an opportunity to win that thing. Plus, there'll be a lot of other prizes. Beer Santa's going to be out there passing out beer and doing all of that stuff. If you're playing in the golf tournament, when you show up at the Golf Club of Texas on Monday morning, you'll have a chance to get into a putting contest for this particular golf bag. And so it's going to be a blast on Monday, whether you're playing golf or whether you're just going to come out and party with us at the Hangar Bar off Petrenko. Make plans to do that. I can't wait for that. We're going to get ready for the NBA playoffs. The play-in game's about to start. The Cowboys will have started their first voluntary OTAs. That will be fun to talk about. So a lot to do out there. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great time and get ready to party with us on Monday. It's been great.
This is 94.1 San Antonio.